What is happening, you guys, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, El Capitan, and tonight on the Tailgate Party That Never Stops, a couple of things we'll go over, a little bit of Christian Wilkins talk, something I hinted at on Twitter. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, make sure you do. If you guys are watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, hop over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, please, guys. We need the likes. It helps the algorithm, gets the show traveling. I am tonight wearing a jacket that I posted on Facebook, on Twitter. My dad gave me this jacket. He picked it up from a buddy. It's a commemorative 72 30-year anniversary. 72. It's got the 72 and 73 patches on it. It's got the Super Bowl patches on the sides. Pretty badass. I'm not going to wear it the whole time. I just wanted to wear it. Say thanks, Dad. It's an awesome jacket. I really appreciate it. I'll take good care of it. Maybe I'll put it in some glass back here or something like that. Don't plan on wearing it too much. Maybe I'll pull it out every now and again for a game or something like that in the wintertime. Guys, before we get going, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're checking out all the great content we have here on the channel. Tonk 7's TMI Tuesday live at 9 with color commentary on there. Right after that, you can catch Open Mic with Mike on the mic. Catch him again on Saturdays with Drop the Mic. Thursday, late night color commentary coming at you. Everybody already know. And you guys can catch me, El Capitan, every other night of the week, usually at 10 o'clock. Cash App, Venmo, the Fins Tailgate. Super Chat is live. And guys, make sure you're supporting the channel. Also, you can support through the link below, buying yourself some Fanatics gear. And you guys can also support with some of the good stuff we also have in the link below. So, guys, thanks for getting here early. Mike, I see you. Andres, my guy. Carla in here. CT, what's up? California. Bill. Still waiting on that Debo news. I think we're going to wait a little longer, bud. John, Jamie, Moss Sports Talk up in this mud. Josh, what's going on? MCJB, California. Fins up. What's up, buddy? Michael, what's happening? Michael, I see you over on Facebook. Go Dolphins. Laquan, what's happening? So, all right, let me get this jacket off, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get this off. It's too hot to wear this bad boy. Living in South Florida, man, can't be wearing that much. All right, so let's see, guys. We'll start off with this Christian Wilkins talk. Now, if you guys are following me on Twitter, you would see on April 15th, I put out a tweet about confirmed sources that the Dolphins are working on contract extensions with Christian Wilkins. Money that'll leave him top paid for his position, which, in a lot of ways he needs. He's going to get that. A few months back, when I first was thinking about the extension of Christian Wilkins, what's up, Isaac? What's up, Aqua? It's just the internet, MC. That's all. There's nothing wrong with the camera. It's just the internet right now. I don't know why. Anyhow, I had thought it would make sense to either franchise tag him and trade him. You could probably get some really good draft picks, and maybe that might still be something the Dolphins do, but I don't think so. Shortly after that, right after Ogba got signed, Moss, he does kind of do it all. I started hearing, don't count out an extension for Christian Wilkins in the future either. And that essentially, Chris Greer is the guy who runs this ship. And Chris Greer's one of his very first foot in the ground. These are one of my guys. Knock out the park. Christian Wilkins is one of those Chris Greer type picks. And, he's shown every year Christian Wilkins has gotten better. So it's not like he's got on some trajectory as of late or anything. He's been good since we've gotten him. It's not so much, Aaron Donald, but that's not really what we expected of him either. You know what I'm saying? Like what Christian Wilkins does is, listen, he can rush the passer. He can hold run blocks pretty good. He's a jack of all trades, and where he needs to get better, he usually does. What's happening, Justin? I think this is something that the Dolphins could do for as far as signing the 5th-year option extension and playing that into the contract extension. It's something coming on the forecast. This is a guy they're going to want to keep. He's definitely right up the character that they want. And I think that's very important. So it's something to keep an eye on. I was told as early as May 2nd. So there's some indications that something might happen. So I'm keeping my eye on that. I'm going to keep an idea. Yeah, I see that, Moss. I have an update on it too. How about those Heat, though? Stomping out them Hawks. Not even close. They play again on Tuesday. Let's go Heat. Yeah, Carla, Treader is got some concerns as far as the money, and I'm hearing that there's surgery in Treader's future for it's either his Achilles, something to do with it's a lower leg thing. It's been unclear whether it's the knee, the ankle, something like that. But this is something that's going to need to be cleaned up this year or next year, or sometime in the future. It's just known that it's only a matter of time. And so you would think after draft day, when the list gets shorter, maybe then they can make something happen. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. But back to Christian Wilkins a little bit. His franchise tag next year is just under $11 million. I expect him to command 13 million or more. If they don't take care of this contract extension, and we could see this during the year too, picking up of the 5th-year option, working out something like that. Um, they don't want to let him go to free agency kind of in the same thing. I don't think they want. I don't know. Mike Gesicki's a different story to me. We'll see where that goes as the year goes on, but Christian Wilkins has played up to his standard of that, what he's been asked to do. And I think here in the future, we're going to see an increased bit of a role as far as what they're asking him to do even more. And we're going to see how that works out. But let's see. I'm not so much of the notion that they would trade Christian Wilkins anymore. Not from the word that I've been getting. That now it pretty much points to, yeah, Christian Wilkins on this football team is he's here long haul. And I'm maybe he'll give us a little bit of a hometown discount too, which would be awesome. So yeah, I know, John, the Panthers are smacking bitches around. So I'm going to move on to a little bit of this Tua talk that I've been hearing. There's some good and bad coming out of mainstream media. As always, it's mixed reviews. A couple of PFF grades given, just a ranking from PFF. And some people, you take them for what you guys want about Tua. They were talking about him as a play action pass last season, which that RPO will be run, but play action pass RPO, it's almost kind of the same exact shit if you want to be real about it. But that play action pass in this West Coast outside zone type of scheme is something he's going to be asked to do quite often. And last year he had 121 completions out of the play action, which was 5th in the league. He had a 71.6 completion rate, which is tied for 5th in the league. And then he was 1,375 yards out of a play action, which was 8th in the league. Another little stat from PFF is they ranked highest completion percentage in the red zone, which I can remember once Tua got in the red zone, he was pretty damn good inside the red zone for the most part. I didn't realize he was number 1 with 66.1% above Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott, which it's good. And this is something we've heard about him as well. That from the coaching, from the players, they seem to be very high and confident on Tua in this newer system, in this, with this coaching staff, with everything. And, if you guys go back, I got the video with T.O. and Brendan Scarlett on T.O.'s show, and they were talking about Tua. And, there's been Jalen Waddle talking about him on I Am Athlete, and just by all accounts, the players seem to be playing almost a little coy. What's up, King? With how they're kind of being like, you know what, just wait, because they have full faith into the outside noise has quieted as far as quarterback controversies go. In some ways, there is some things that I will touch on a little bit later. So there's a good energy with the team. And guys, this typically happens with a coaching change, out with the old, in with the new. Everyone feels regenerated, fresh, things like that. It's always, I don't know, that new type of turnaround, especially because you go opposites. Everyone knew Flores was very old school, stoic. He, was the grinder, the kind of guy that, takes no talent kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Mike McDaniel is not that guy, not even a little bit. He's boisterous, very outgoing, seems to just relish in not just the moment, but understanding himself in like a third eye perspective, what people expect of him, how he wants to act, how he wants people to perceive him, but also by making everyone else around him comfortable. A lot of in-depth self-awareness by not taking himself so seriously. Something I kind of do with myself. I like that. A little self-deprecation. It's for fun. You guys chill out. You know what I'm saying? Relax a little bit. So, and his belief in the quarterback in his system with the coaching staff now with the weapons at that, and we're going to talk about the offensive line later on. There's not just hope, but plan. And even though there's an immense amount of pressure on Tua, as I think we all know, seems to also be some real support this time around, not just with players, not just with the coaching style, but in a whole of the organization, which has got to feel good for Tua, because I know, and around here, we get on him too. It's fun. We got to poke on him. I get it. Some people take a highly offense to it. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know, whatever. We'll let that die. But it's good to see that the organization is in on it, because I do hear swirlings about, as you guys remember, Lamar Jackson. Now there's Kyler Murray people talk about. There's lots of quarterbacks that could potentially either be on the market or, something to that effect. And I don't want to relive what I lived last year. Go in with the guy, make it happen. I don't want to say sell out, but, buy in fully to what they're trying to do to make sure that we find answers to this quarterback. We don't want to spin our wheels and have to deal with all that. So I'm going to play this video. First of all, guys, everybody, happy Easter. Sorry I couldn't be on. I had family come in town on Thursday night. My sister and everybody came in with her kids, Brandon the bookie. We were trying to do a show, but it was just too much. It was my daughter's birthday, Easter. My mom and dad were in town. So I made sure to get on tonight, even though I was thinking about taking it off. But I missed you guys, and I knew I had to get some stuff set out here. And I wanted to touch on some of these videos, some of the stuff that's come across, and, make sure to keep it fun, guys, tailgate party. CT, I might drop the link in a little while. So, yeah. So, all right, let's, and on freaking Sunday morning at like 7:30 in the morning, my sink just falls through. It's an undermount sink, and it was, I don't know, it fell through, crashed in. It was filled up with water because we were defrosting a ham for Sunday night, and it totally fell through, broke all the stuff. So I've been dealing with that too. So just make sure El Capitan's here for you guys. Sacrifice it. So just let everybody know I love, got love, you love, have love. So let's check out this little bit of a video. We'll a little bit of mainstream bullshit, as you guys know, a little bit of breaking down. I got some other articles we'll go over in a little bit, but I haven't been able to watch a lot of this stuff, so you'll get live reaction on it, which I kind of like to do. So let's see what we got here.
Trying to do offensively in Chicago.
So Field is trying to prove himself in a quarterback-friendly system, but how about Tua Tagovailoa? With a load of new offensive power and a new head coach, he spoke about how he feels going into the season.
I think pressure is everywhere, especially in our industry, or any professional industry. Pressure is just there. But, it's one of those things where you're either going to make use of this opportunity, with the guys that we have, or you're not. And that's...
I mean, that's pretty much what I just got through saying. It's a lot of pressure on Tua this year, but he seems to be handling it in stride, as he always has. Let's not make it light. Baker Mayfield crumbled immediately on the Deshaun Watson stuff. Then again, Deshaun Watson did take his job, but Tua has handled a lot of the criticisms in stride. He's shown his strength and his conviction. And boy, oh boy, he looked ready like a mofo this year. So he looks physically ready, and he's got a little bit of that look in his eye that I was hoping to see more of last year.
That's what it is. And so for me, I'm looking forward to making use of this opportunity.
RC, is this now the biggest opportunity for Tua?
No, it absolutely is. This is the closest he's ever going to get to playing in Tuscaloosa again. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. You look in the backfield, you go and add Bradshaw, you add Mostert, you get him a left tackle. He has skill players and talent all around this field offensively. It's time to put up or shut up if you're Tua Tagovailoa. This is a prove-it year for him and the Miami Dolphins. They're going to know by the end of this season if Tua Tagovailoa is their starting franchise quarterback going forward or not.
Simply put, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like that. That's right, King Mill. Facts. You know what I'm saying? We need to see it on the field. It's sink or swim from the young man. But there is, John, Cord, I already showed the jacket. So rewind it. Go back and rewind it. I showed it. I came out live with it on. It is a big-time prove-it year, and there's a lot of pressure. Especially if the Cardinals don't get things worked out with Kyler Murray, which I suspect they will. I think Kyler Murray's just trying to get what he got to get, and I don't blame him. I don't like that he's doing that. I don't see Tua doing that to us. If things work out this year, I see Tua playing nice and re-signing, and I don't know for certain, but I would bet an error on the side that he would be very friendly in finances with the team because he understands that money would need to be distributed amongst the team, where we've seen other guys, they just want their money. So Josh is right, guys. Hit that like button. But I do have high hopes for him in this system particularly. And look, it's, again, I just want to not live with uncertainty for long. So he makes it out of this year healthy and operates this system. It's going to be such a relief for Dolphins fans, especially if we find ourselves going into the draft this time next year. And, we're not thinking about quarterbacks or anything like that. We're thinking about not just building a Super Bowl team, but building a dynasty, because that's how our draft picks will look if we're still hanging on to two. We know how Chris Greer get down. He'll be trading one of them back. We'll have multiple first-round draft picks from now until I don't know.
High hopes in Miami, that much is for sure. When you factor in all those offseason moves, you highlighted a bunch of them, but the Dolphins haven't tasted a playoff victory since defeating the Colts in the 2000 wild card round.
That's the sad fact right there, guys. Not a playoff victory since 95. That's terrible. I was, 12 years old then? Something like that? Damn, that's a long time, guys. I think I remember this game.
Lions have a longer active drought without a playoff win. Miami hasn't finished with a top 10 total offense or had a Pro Bowl quarterback since 1995. Both of those, the longest active droughts in the league. All right, so Tim, all that
killing us.
We know that quarterbacks in today's NFL have a shorter leash than ever. Is this a make or break year for Tua?
And that ain't no bullshit either. Quarterbacks have the shortest leash of all time. I mean, damn, it used to be you got a quarterback in and you let him sit on ice a year, sometimes longer. And you had a veteran that was operating the offense, bringing the offense to full speed. And then we brought the guy along slowly, and then he took over. But now the offenses have changed so much to the college game, and college football has changed, operating at such a, so many different ways. But still, there's a learning curve for these guys, which is why I hope that a lot of people realize that always the third year is the make or break year. Then again, we've seen plenty of these guys come in their rookie year and just light it up. but it's usually a mobile quarterback that does that. And honestly, that's a sought after trait in teams in today's NFL, because you have talent and you spread the field out, and there's, cheap yards to get from a guy who gets in, open field and can run the ball. It's electric to say the least, but I've never been a mobile quarterback kind of guy. It's just too dangerous. Your quarterback's across the middle of the field. That's how, you get. Again, I do want to see Tua run the ball more, though. I say all that, and I want to see more out of him as far as taking those yards when they're there. I want him to slide better, too.
I believe it is. It's not the coaching staff that drafted him. But, Field, as you mentioned, the shortest leash, I think he's been somewhat unfairly criticized. You think about his first year is coming off a major hip injury and COVID strikes. And so, the idea that he was going to have success in that environment, probably was wishful thinking. Then they fire offensive coordinator. We now know there's been plenty of dysfunction in Miami. I think it'll be hard for any quarterback to have success in that environment. Yeah. This, I believe, is different. Better players around him. I think a better offensive system for his skill set. And so I love his attitude. I love the way he sounded about looking forward with this opportunity, with the guys around him. I think he knows he's under this pressure. And look, quite honestly, he's faced it before. And so I think it'll be a great challenge for him.
I couldn't agree with him more. If you guys watched that interview, and I did a breakdown of it, he sounds like he understands not just the circumstance that he's in, but the opportunity he's got. And they're showing you the graphic right there, and I'll get it off. We got, Tyreek Hill in here, obviously. Cedric Wilson, who, probably might be one of the guys that eats the most. And it's just, we might look back at that and go, damn, what a friggin' bargain for this guy. Teron Armstead, which he was number 1 free agent on everybody's boards. Connor Williams at guard, Chase Edmonds, Teddy Bridgewater as the backup, which I hope to see very little of Teddy on the field because Tua is doing so good. But it is a reflection on where the team believes they are, having a Teddy Bridgewater backup, a guy who could operate this offense pretty good. They're serious about, bringing victories in the playoffs and Super Bowls to Miami. Again, though, the Chase Edmonds, that to me, when we signed it, that's a big time scheme fit that Mike McDaniels was jacked up about. So I can't wait to see how he plans to use him, because he obviously does. Looking at him, he wanted him. And Cedric Wilson, both these guys were gotten early on, and they were exact plug-and-play scheme fit guys that Mike McDaniel wants to use. So I'm excited to see how they're used in this system.
Yeah, Tim, I think the important thing, as you mentioned, we know there was some dysfunction in my sorry, Ryan.
Go ahead, Matt.
Ryan, it's all you. Go ahead.
It was you. No, it was you, brother.
Matt, take it away, my friend.
And yeah, real quick, the dysfunction has rounded out into a perfect picture of how it worked out, which again, that's why I said you go opposite of that, and really it kind of fits what you were doing when you needed it. And I'll just run through this real quick. When you have a team torn down and you got to find out who's about this rebuild or not, a guy that's stern in this way that Flores was, especially with the untalent, you need the discipline and all that stuff. We knew it was going to be a hard battle fought, and he found good things about this and built a pretty damn good defense before he left. But that was never going to work, and that kind of coaching is just gone, guys, in the NFL. These guys are making too much money. They're getting ready to make more money. We're going to look in 2 years at what Tyreek Hill's being paid and go, oh, shit, that's cheap. Dolphins got to steal. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's how it is. Quarterbacks be making $50 million a year no matter what here directly. That money hits, everything's going up. So it's getting mo and mo and mo. So what's up, Ollie? Cliff, what's happening? Jay, I see you in there, brother. 100 Auntie. CCRR. What's up? Tua sucks. Doesn't matter what you put around him. Puts lipstick on a pig. We'll see, brother. We'll see. I think if we were ever going to get the highest quality of Tua, it has to be this year, and he's got to go above and beyond to elevate the guys around him, or at least operate this in a way that they can't move off, and it has to make sense, especially with the finances and just how, if it worked out with the picks and if we could still keep them picks. We're going to touch on that probably at a different time. But man, dude, that's really the plan. We're still on the plan from Chris Grier. When it was tank, it was find what we can keep as a foundation. It was slowly build through the draft. And now it's buy in free agency and sure up next year guys you want to keep on the team, and hopefully have those draft picks to draft guys to continue this building for long term. So hopefully we're working right what Chris Grier's plan is, because if we are, we're in great shape.
We'll figure it out. That's why the beauty of live TV. Ryan, I do think that we look at this and there was dysfunction, obviously, but also there was no offensive line. I think that's something that does get missed. They drafted offensive linemen early, but it never worked out. They were just drafting projects. Like, no disrespect to Austin Jackson. He was a project coming out of college, and they threw him out there and expected him to be great. So it's not just about Tyreek Hill. It's not just about I love Jalen Waddle.
Okay, so that's where I got to hold him up right there. I don't think Austin Jackson was so much picked as a project. It's just very obvious he got little to no coaching since he's been in the league with the Dolphins. And again, it's hard to find good coaches to sign up for a team that's tanking like that. And I don't know. Upon building of the team, it seemed that people didn't want to work with Flores. The word kind of was out in that third year that Flo was hard to work with and didn't play well with others. And that shit don't work. Especially in the NFL, it's all in a who you know type business. So don't forget, and that goes with damn near everything, you guys. People don't have to fucking take your shit. They don't have to. So
I think most importantly, it's Teron Armstead and Connor Williams. Like, those are the two pieces that I look at and say, okay, Tua now has consistency around him. I thought Tim did a great job pointing out, coming off a devastating hip injury, COVID hits. Let's not forget, they won 6 straight games last year with an owner that maybe didn't want them to win games at all. So I do think that this is a key where, they were playing well last year. And no, Tua wasn't ripping up the stat sheets. He wasn't playing like Justin Herbert, who he's always going to be compared to, or Joe Burrow.
Slight jab at our owner there, huh? I'm going to rewind that.
Games at all. So I do think that this is that I look at and say, okay, Tua now has consistency around him. I thought Tim did a great job pointing out, coming off a devastating hip injury, COVID hits. Let's not forget, they won 6 straight games last year with an owner that maybe didn't want them to win games at all.
All right, so that's the don't do your homework mainstream media clip of the day. It wasn't last year that was in question for the losing football games. It was 2019. So, again, they obviously don't know. And yeah, CT, guys, hit the like button, please. It helps with the algorithm. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, come over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and hit that like button, please, guys.
So I do think that this is a key where, they were playing well last year. And no, Tua wasn't ripping up the stat sheets. He wasn't playing like Justin Herbert, who he's always going to be compared to, or Joe Burrow. But I do think the framework is in place now for him to excel. And if not, Miami has 2 first-round picks in 2023. So they have some ammo.
Yeah, I think the big thing, and I'm sorry, Matt, for interrupting you. I don't know why I thought it was my turn. I think the big thing is it's not necessarily that Tua Tagovailoa has to be compared to Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow when we look at individual stats. It's going to be about the success.
First of all, and again, I'm going to interrupt Ryan Clark here. What's up, Anthony? I know people compare to stats with these quarterbacks, but playing styles, everything. when you look at back when we were drafting and it was Tua over Herbert, you knew the difference between the two guys. And although Herbert has excelled with his arm strength, with good, talented wide receivers and pretty good blocking, I still think there's still that thing I don't believe Herbert has that I do believe Tua has, which is why I always wanted Tua a little bit more than Herbert. I could see the logic in getting Herbert because of the upside, but he just reminded me in character too much like Ryan Tannehill, where Tua, to me, I think people will follow his lead. Herbert, I don't know, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Jury's still out on all these guys except for Burrow. Burrow, to me, was a no miss, and I see why they packaged a deal to go get him. That made sense, but you know, since he made sure
of this team and how he plays a part into it. Not everyone is going to have this all-pro Hall of Fame quarterback, but if you surround Tua Tagovailoa with the right pieces, you expect him to be able to win football games. And I think that's what you'll be looking for if you're Mike McDaniels, the new head coach. How do we put him in this offense and get a Jimmy Garoppolo type effect? And I think Tua Tagovailoa is more talented than Jimmy Garoppolo and also surrounded by better people. This is going to be a run-first offense that wants to protect its quarterback and get into play action pass where Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, and Tyreek Hill can get the football in their hands and make huge plays. Yeah. I think he is set up for success. If he's healthy, he'll be ready to roll.
You know, the NFL has a fifth-year option available to first-round picks, and you have to make a decision on that after the player's third season. When it's a quarterback and you don't know for sure after the third season, it probably tells you what you need to know about that player. Tua has one more year to prove he is that fifth-year option and perhaps a lucrative extension down the line.
Very important what he said there, which is why I think they've gone all in on Tua in a lot of ways, because this again is make or break for him, because there is 2 first-round draft picks. There is future draft picks. They either package a deal and go get somebody else. They look to the draft for one of these younger guys. And next year's draft class is going to be pretty good. I don't think they would draft a younger guy. Do you guys think they would draft somebody young, or would they go for a veteran quarterback? I think there's more of a chance of a veteran quarterback, and I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But I don't think there's any more of this video. I think that's it.
Hey, next on NFL Live.
Yeah, that is it. So, it is California. You would rather them draft one? I wouldn't. I would rather to get somebody on the team to take it in a shorter window. El Cap, we're going vet. We aren't starting over. That's right. Yeah, I agree with you, CT. If they were to move off Tua at the end of this year because they just didn't believe in it, maybe they wouldn't even move off him. Maybe they'd keep him and get somebody else in here, which I don't think that would work, because I don't think Tua would stick around. And I think it's a bad message. I mean, look at what's going on in Cleveland. I don't want to be that kind of franchise where that's all going on. Stupid, but we'll wait and see. Again, everything is set up for the young man, and he looks so healthy. He looks really good right now, and he seems to be sound in mind as far as the support system. So this should be the year we see some good stuff. And with that, I'll load up the next video. So, but guys, yeah, make sure you're hitting the like button, please. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, come over, hit the like button. If you guys want to know all the quarterbacks that are going to be available next year, potentially could be Baker Mayfield still, or again, whatever goes on with him. Lamar Jackson, depending on what works out there. Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Jimmy Garoppolo, depending on how the situation plays out from here. There's a lot of veteran quarterbacks. Tom Brady's not signed through then. There's a lot of movement. We could see this could become a regular thing in the NFL where every year or every other year we're seeing more movement from quarterbacks, which I heard a stat today that was kind of crazy that since I can't remember when, like 2015, 2014 or 13 or something, only Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are on the teams that drafted him. Everyone else is on a different team as far as franchise guys go, or guys that aren't on rookie contracts. Everyone has left. So with that perspective, quarterbacks moved around to different teams. This is more common than we think. But all right, let's pull up this next video, guys. Boom, boom. All right.
Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa spoke for the first time since the team acquired Tyreek Hill. He was on the Fish Tank podcast, and Tua said he's excited for the new offense. He had this to say about the pressure.
Holler at Fish Tank getting all the good publicity. Good for them. You know what I'm saying? OJ and Seth, that's awesome. Underrated Seth is he. I mean, for all you guys that don't listen to the Fish Tank, Seth is totally the glue in that deal. I don't want to devalue everyone else, but the whole show is great, great show.
He faces this season.
I think pressure is everywhere, especially in our industry, or any professional industry.
Damn, slight jab at the 6.8 yards per attempt last season, 23rd in the NFL. I don't like that they put that graphic up because that graphic is not telling at all. It's more. I will say this: Tua didn't have a lot of time to throw most of the time, so I do come down hard on him because, yeah, Zippa, I'm having internet issues today, buddy. Sorry, it's just how it is. Sometimes she is like a nut. Sometimes she ain't. So, anyhow, when you don't have a line and you're asked to get rid of the ball quickly, being 23rd in the NFL at passing attempts is no shit. You know what I'm saying?
Pressure's everywhere, especially in our industry, or any professional industry. Pressure's just there. But, you know, it's one of those things where you're either going to make use of this opportunity, you know, with the guys that we have, or you're not. And that's what it is. And so for me, I'm looking forward to making use of this opportunity.
All right, Tim Hasselbeck, I want to start with you. Look, the Dolphins did a lot of work this
Wait, didn't we just hear this cat?
offseason to make this team better. For Tua Tagovailoa, put pieces around him. Is this his prove-it season?
Yeah, I think, Dan, in some ways it is. You know, it's year 3. A lot of times people want to see progress.
Did just hear this
in
guy.
year
How many
3.
times is he going to tell
I don't think
us?
there's any doubt with a new coaching staff that there's a lot of prove it to this upcoming season for Tua.
I'm skipping him.
Make it all the
Hold
division
on.
winners.
For Tua.
Teddy, you think he'll improve this year? What are your expectations for Tua and the Dolphins in 20?
Damn, 49.7 total QBR last season, 18th in the NFL. That's it's not a stat we want to see next year.
2022?
Well, I think Tim's right. You got to look at Tua this year to see how he utilizes everything that he has. I do not see this Dolphin team as a playoff team right now. I mean, pick 3 teams from the AFC West.
Yeah, Sal, I see that about Josh Allen, but you remember, bro, they had that elite defense and he ran for his life a lot and he couldn't throw the ball very good. Josh Allen, different type of talent, and Tua came in injured on his rookie year.
That'll make it all the division winners. The New England Patriots were a playoff team last year. So there's a lot that has to happen still. So Tua really has to show me that he knows how to use Tyreek Hill. I mean, they did so much to get Tyreek Hill, and to truly utilize Tyreek Hill is to have that type of recklessness a little bit about you, to even though he's double covered, to still trust that he'll get the job done. There was so much that Mahomes had in terms of extending plays, then throwing it to Tyreek Hill deep down the field. Does Tua have that type of game in him? I think that's what I'll be watching for Tua, to see if he's that type of quarterback that just knows, I know who I have out there, and I know that you know that he's out there, and I know you'll double cover him, but somehow, some way, still utilize him the right way. That's what I want to see Tua do this year.
I got to give pushback on that because, the narrative coming out about Tua was that he held the ball too long looking to push it downfield, that he got a little hero ball. That's how he got hurt. Now in the NFL, this is why I say sometimes I feel like it was a little bit of psychological with him, because when he did have time and his guys were covered underneath, he didn't look for breakdowns down the field and throw it. And even times he didn't even run the ball. It's like his internal clock was short, which could understand considering the beating he took at times and the lack of time in the pocket he was usually allotted. Plus, I think there was a heavy emphasis for him to not play that type of ball. And, when your coach asks you not to do things, you got to do what he asks. So, and we've all but confirmed it from Flores' mouth that was the game plan. We did know that with Gailey, that was definitely the game plan. So it's a little bit of, it's weird how the narrative changes, because while he was being drafted, it was said by his head coach and others around him that, hey, he tries to do too much. That was literally one of the biggest problems, is that, hey, man, you're trying to do too much and you got injured. There you go. So you probably learned that lesson. But now they're like, oh, is he going to try enough? It's like, what are you talking about? And also, I got to give him pushback on learning how to use Tyreek Hill, because having this multitude of weapons and learning how to use high-powered weapons, Tua's had to, that's what he had in Alabama. I think it'll be short work for them in this offense, figuring out creative ways to get the ball to the playmakers like Gesicki, Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. So I think he's going to do just fine with that. My biggest concern when it comes to Tua, in a realistic standpoint, and has always been, is there going to be that mental kind of stuff a little bit? And also, is he going to be able to hold up from the hits he does take without taking, nagging injuries and missing time because of it? Because that's just no way to find good consistency. Also with, psychologically too, if you're getting injured and you're taking hits, there's a psychological toll. The only time I've ever been psychologically down in my life is when I've been hemmed up, and there is a realization of mortality when you're hurt. You understand that you're not bulletproof, and that's something to consider. But I think he's shown a lot of grit with these types of injuries. Let's just hope that he finds success early and often where that confidence is high. And so by, week 2, 3, 4, we're seeing this guy like a duck on water.
Yeah, Kimberly, look, he talked about pressure there in that clip we showed, and he kind of downplayed it, right? All this pressure in every industry, but you think he's underselling the amount of pressure he's under this year?
Oh, no, he is under a lot of pressure because I think, as the guys have said, this is a prove-it year. I think for me, for Tua, has to leave no doubt that he is the guy. He has to be the reason that the Dolphins wins games and not loses games. And at this point, there's a new head coach who has no ties to him. So forget what is said about, yes, we believe in Tua. You have to show it on the field. Every quarterback there's things that work against him. There are coaching changes, there's regime changes, there's skill positions that don't exist on the field. You could talk to Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. A lot of quarterbacks have reason to question whether they've been given fair chances. But Tua's had 3 years. This has to be a year where the Dolphins know exactly what they have.
So that's the.
And again, I think the narrative rings true again and again. As an organization, as a business, the Miami Dolphins they have no more time to waste, which I think is why they moved on from the coach as well. There's no doubt that they've opened the window for victories for Miami. And I mean, damn, it couldn't be any harder of a time too. Look at the AFC, but it is what it is. And Tua's going to have to just operate it at the highest level he can. Do what we believe you can do. What we've, as you know, the first round draft pick when we drafted you at 5th overall, that we knew you could get done. So
that's the key. They have to get to the end of this year
and
convinced, whether it's
Yep.
yes or no, whether
1,000,000%.
The guy. So, I mean, guys, I guess real quick, I want to throw it back to Tim. Do you think he can do it? Do you think he can convince him?
Well, listen, I think there's going to be improvement. I think the new offense down there will fit his skill set. There's clearly better players around him. And so, look, I think in terms of him proving it, it doesn't – I don't know that it means they have to be a playoff team, because I would agree with Teddy. I don't think they're a playoff team, and I don't think that means end of the run in Miami for Tua. But I do think he's got to start –
And they've shown this graphic a couple of times. They don't put the fullback on there either, or Alec Ingold and Raheem Moser, huh? I guess those guys are left. I'd rather see their names than Teddy Bridgewater.
Every game. Injuries have been an issue, and so I think he's got to play the entire season. He's got to throw for over 3,600 yards, and I think he's got to throw for over 25 touchdowns. I think if you do that, that is clear improvement for Tua, and I think it'll give Miami the feeling that, yeah, we can try to build around him.
He has 27 touchdowns, 15 interceptions in 23 games total over his first 2 seasons. So a long way to go to get to those benchmarks. We'll see if he can do it. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, want to stick with the Dolphins here. A little team bonding for a good cause. Tua held his annual luau with
Nice. Hell yeah.
The highlights was new Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel learning to play the drums, as well as Jalen Waddle learning the traditional haka dance. But yeah, McDaniel kind of went all in here, didn't he? Oh, here's Waddle. He's going to learn the haka dance.
Yeah, we've seen this.
So,
yeah.
What do you guys think? Is that the haka? That's not the haka.
That's like thriller stuff.
Thriller haka. Yeah.
That's Michael Jackson.
That's not. I know enough to know that I'm not the best dancer, but I know enough to know that is not the haka. That is in fact thriller. Well, more on the Dolphins, maybe not so much more on this later in the show.
To Verdi and we were rolling.
So yeah, I don't know what this is. They cut this film up, but maybe we'll check it out here in a second. Oh, word up. I'll check it. Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up. Zippa. Check the email. But yeah, we're going to hear this again and again and again, guys. It's going to continue to be Tua has to perform. It's very important for his career, for the Dolphins and everything. And I'm glad that by all isn't going to allow quarterback controversy to fester for him. And they've loaded it up. They've gotten his team ready. They've brought in coaches. They've brought in weapons, all in on Tua this year. So let's make sure this kid can make it worth keeping those 2 first-round draft picks next year and drafting like a pass rusher and, I don't know, a corner or something, or maybe a wide receiver, or I don't know. Or maybe, one of those draft picks are low and, say we're like, go to the playoffs, win some games, things like that, and we pick a badass running back, which when you're drafting in the first round for a running back for the Dolphins, that tells me you're putting that last playmaking piece to win the Super Bowl. That's just, a hopeful thing. I don't really know what this video is about, so I didn't watch this far. So let's go ahead and see what this is. A little bit of
rolling together from 98 on. Ain't nowhere in the world I'd have left Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, if Testaverde was 25 instead of 65,
exactly,
you would have stayed right put, right?
It's a different man. It's a different world. It's a different world when you, man. It's a different world. I'll explain it to you as you continue to go on.
Well, so look, Davante Adams leaving a great quarterback for a good one, but it's also his dude from college. Tyreek Hill wants to go to Miami and enjoy the life and all that and also get paid, right? So maybe there's slightly different motivations, but who do you think will regret it more, Key, between Davante Adams and Tyreek Hill?
Oh, man, totally set him up for fan bases to hate him, which I don't think he gives a shit, but damn, who's going to regret it more? Meaning they're both going to regret it is basically what he's saying. Damn.
Tyreek Hill. There's no question about
no question about it. Goes right at Tyreek. It didn't even take 2 seconds to think about it. Let's see that again.
Between Davante Adams and Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. There's no question about it, Max. I think when you've had luxury cars, both you and Jay, right? You guys have had you've worked your tails off and you've been able to afford nice things and you've had luxury cars and you've also gone on vacations and you've gotten out of that luxury car, and that luxury car feels really good. The seats snug you when you turn the corners, and then you go get in a rental car. The air conditioning, no automatic seats. You got to pull it up and pull it back. That's what this is going to be like for Tyreek Hill.
Damn, bro. He just called Tua a rental car. That's funny, though. I got to give it to him. It's fucked up, but it's kind of funny, dude. I mean, I'm just going to let it continue. Very colorful of Keyshawn, but I don't know, man. That's kind of fucked up.
He just left a luxury vehicle with Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to a rental car that's the basics, the bottom of the barrel. It's going to get him to certain places, but it's not going to feel as good with Tua. He's going to have some emotional stress and meltdowns when he does not get the opportunities that he got in Kansas City. It's just a different world, look, man, for a dude, I played with, I think it was 17 quarterbacks. You can count them up, Evan, and really quick. But when you go from guys that's not Hall of Fame level like Tyreek Hill had, and I know why he needed to get his money, but that play on the field, no matter how good you are, man, when you ain't got no quarterback, you're going to be in trouble.
Damn, I didn't realize Keyshawn hated Tua this much. Holy cow. I mean, he straight up said Tua sucks pretty much. He's not a franchise quarterback. He's a rental. And that Tyreek Hill is going to have problems. I didn't know that. That was fucked up. I didn't realize that. I had no idea.
Patrick Mahomes is a Rolls Royce or a.
I mean, I agree. Patrick Mahomes is an amazing, amazing quarterback, and the off-script plays that him and Tyreek would make are amazing. But I mean, who's to say that Tua's not going to find that kind of chemistry with Tyreek Hill? I mean, first of all, Tyreek, the veteran, is going to be telling Tua, listen, this shit breaks down. Look for me. I'm going to be open. I'm going to get open. In fact, if it's 4 seconds and you're running around, there ain't no 4 or 5 second routes. So you got two fast guys. You're just looking to get open. And I don't know. I had no idea Keyshawn was really off Tua that hard.
Or a top line Tesla or whatever he is. What is Tua Tagovailoa? What car is he?
I don't want to say a specific brand, but he's just a rental car.
You get the rental. If you rent it, look, full size, mid size, what?
Full size.
He would probably be a mid size.
Mid size rental.
And if you rented a car, you know what I'm talking about. The seats aren't leather. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're gonna give you the cloth, and you're gonna have to move the chair, the seat up, down. They're not so it's a different feel, and he'll feel that in Miami. Anybody that's played the position like me and Michael Irvin and had an opportunity to taste a quarterback like a Troy Aikman or a Vinny Testaverde at 65, when we had our year in 98,
65, yeah.
When we had that year in 98, man, if I could have had 10 more of those years with him, it's just a different world, man.
It's easy. I mean, Patrick Holmes is an elite quarterback.
Damn. Yeah, I had no idea. You know what? You're right, Dolphin 72. He is a former Jet. You're fucking right. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I got his fucking rookie card in here somewhere. But yeah, you're right. He is hating on Tua as a Jet fan. You're right about that.
Quarterback top 5 in the league. Tua Tagovailoa is
trying to keep a job as a starter.
Like 20?
Trying to keep a job.
Yeah.
Trying to keep a job.
So and Key, here's the interesting part. I was curious to ask you about it. So like moving from different teams, understanding how Tyreek Hill was prioritized in that Kansas City offense, right? Just taking it over the top, mostly just can break open any offensive set. Having a quarterback that's still trying to find himself, what kind of pressure does he now apply to Tua that Tua hasn't felt before on each?
Okay. Now I'm sure I can just guess. I know, right, Findog? He said Vinny Testaverde. I know, I was laughing too. It was fucking hilarious. I already know what he's gonna say along here as far as his response, but I'm gonna wait and hear it first. Actually, hold on.
Never down.
Well, what Tyreek Hill will do early on is he's gonna be the veteran leader, because that's just what you do naturally. You try to be the veteran leader, put your arms around the young guy and try to motivate him to let him know everything is going to be all right.
Until
I was just about to say, Jay, at some point though, you're going to look up and you're going to see other people eating and getting off and doing their thing. And emotionally, you're going to have people telling you how bad, oh man, they're not getting you the ball. That noise, no matter what you say, you're going to get that noise in your ear. And when you get that noise in your ear, it affects you if you're not strong enough to fight through that. It's a different world. Now, as far as Davante Adams goes, like Max said, he went from a great guy to what I would consider a really good quarterback in the National Football League in that top 10 area in Derek Carr, which is
top 10 Derek Carr. I don't know. Maybe he's had top 10 years. I'm sure it'll be fine with Davante Adams. And I get it. You know what he's saying here as far as, Tyreek Hill going from Patrick Mahomes to Tua. But I think this also plays to what we were talking about earlier, is the pressure that's on Tua. And I do kind of understand what he's saying there. If Tyreek Hill's numbers start to dip and, he's a competitor, he got his money. Now it's about winning, which it was about winning and money the whole time. So, yes, there is going to be pressure. But, again, I think we're betting on Tua answering the call for this and figuring out how to navigate it. And I think he has a better temperament than people are giving him credit for with handling a demanding player, which I hope so. I hope he figures out a way for Tyreek Hill and him to come to an understanding, and there's not this kind of shit could get ugly if you got a superstar that wants the ball and doesn't feel like he's getting it.
Which is a plus for him because they know each other. They work out together. It's in sync, and Derek Carr is going to make sure Davante Adams get the football. Where Tua has to deal with Jalen Waddle, he has to deal with Cedric Wilson. Yep. Now he has to deal with Tyreek Hill and the tight end. I mean, he's got a lot of little pieces he's got to satisfy. Where Derek Carr, number one guy, is Davante Adams, period. Nothing to talk about. It's not even close.
And Key, for Tyreek Hill, you can look at that bank account and you could be appreciative. You could be thankful every single day. But every single game in the AFC, when you're playing against Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan, even Ryan Tannehill to
Patrick
the
Mahomes,
the entire AFC West, even in your own division, you're looking at Mac, you're like, and I like Tua. I want to see Tua win, but you're constantly comparing. What comparison is the thief of joy? You're going to do that in the AFC.
And by the way, Key, there's this other simple, you touched on it, but there's also very straightforward Derek Carr can do everything you want a quarterback to do, right? Like he can do all the things. We don't know if Tua can yet.
And he showed us this season, given the turmoil that the Raiders had gone through with the Henry Ruggs situation, the removal of John Gruden, that he kind of rallied the troops in the locker room and put them on his back. We saw that from Carr. Well, we haven't really seen that leadership from Tua.
I mean, let's get real though. Carr and Tua, Carr's been in the league much longer than Tua. So, and again, I call his first year an easy wash because, I mean, no one really expected him to do much playing time anyhow.
If you think about Jalen Waddle over there,
It's really an unfair measurement as far as output and stuff like that. There's just incomplete data on Tua. Partly his fault from being injured, but there's also a plethora of more data with Derek Carr, who's had, various up and down success. Again, he did step up when the team lost John Gruden, and he did step up in a big way for it, but that's what you would want your veteran draft pick quarterback on a contract year to do. You know what I'm saying? As far as wanting to make more money, which he did get paid.
Jalen Waddle is a pick him up, put him down type receiver, much like Tyreek Hill. He had one of the lowest yak yards in the National Football League. One of the lowest for a guy like that, who is very similar, and I would argue with people, he's pretty much the same guy as Tyreek Hill.
So what does that tell you, the low yak yards?
That tells me that they're not pushing the ball down the field. That tells me that everything is pretty much underneath or thrown behind him or contested balls, nothing where he can get it in his hands and run.
Yeah, so the uninitiated, by the way, yak yards after catch.
Yeah, yards.
We'll also see how that offense changes under Mike McDaniel now.
Yeah, that's
that's
an important is what we're going to see from a system change as well. And Dolphins got better wide receivers than the Raiders. I think that's something I agree with Keyshawn on, that there's a lot of spreading this ball around. Tyreek Hill's got to understand that, in some instances, it's going to be schemed for him to be getting the double team. So someone else, I think everyone knows that. So they're just going to have to tread lightly and understand that, they've got a superstar that wants the football. They've got two of them, and I can't help but think that this system is going to dole out the ball to plenty of opportunities. I put that onus more on the head coach than the quarterback, dialing up the right kind of plays to get the football to Tyreek Hill, to Jalen Waddle, to keep these playmakers happy, because you definitely don't want that, especially Tua, who still has a lot of pressure, to have an added pressure. I do kind of see what they're talking about here, but a rental car, that's kind of just, it's funny. It's actually really funny, but that's kind of shitty.
Could change, but you also got to remember Mike McDaniel is a run.
That's right. I've been saying that.
Offensive mind that really never had the full arsenal of play calling, because he was a run game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers.
I hear what you're saying. I was just talking about the fact that sometimes when your environment changes, right? Like when a new leader comes in, obviously it was apparent that Brian Flores didn't see Tua as the answer. I'm not saying that he didn't give Tua opportunities, but that head coaching quarterback relationship dynamic is interesting if it doesn't feel like it's the most healthy for a guy like Tua.
Yeah.
Whereas Mike McDaniel has a chance to be different because it can feel different.
Nevertheless, I think we're all on the same page. Between these two guys, if someone's going to regret it, it'll be Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah,
By the way, maybe among all four guys, if you throw the quarterbacks in there too, Tyreek Hill stands to regret it the most.
Just think about it, Max, when his name ain't called for the Pro Bowl, because he's used to going to the Pro Bowl. Now all of a sudden,
Yeah, you know how that stuff works too. You made mention of it. when you start getting all the texts from all your friends, the people that care about you, yo, man, how come blah, 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 you ain't doing this, or what happened, or he ain't giving you the ball right? Like that stuff, man, over
Tua's
time,
the opposite
it festers,
of Mahomes.
man.
Tua's an
It festers.
accurate quarterback, dink and dunk. He's the opposite of Mahomes.
You got everything going against you from the outside in. That's hard to veer off.
But Tyreek can always go to that big old pretty mansion. I'm sure he done bought down in South.
You know, and yes, guys, check out link in the description below. 15% off of the TFTG gear. As you guys see, I put the graphic up. Thanks, HB, for dropping that in there. Guys, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Come over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Check out all the great content. Hit that like button, you guys. Tonk 7, TMI Tuesdays, live at 9, color commentary. Right after that is open mic with Mike on the mic. Catch him again on Saturdays with Drop the Mic. Thursdays is late night color commentary. Everybody already know. The Fins Tailgate, El Capitan, every other night of the week, 10 p.m. Eastern. Cash App, Venmo, Fins Tailgate, Super Chat is live and in action. You know, it's fair and unfair criticism of Tua. If this run first scheme and the numbers start to dip, winning cures all. And if you're winning games, kind of takes care of it. You worry about that shit later. But if there's losing happening, that's not going to be good because competitors want to win and nobody likes losing. And the way the money's spent around here, it's a lot on Tua's shoulders. This is why I said months ago, before Tyreek, this is probably the most pressure Tua will ever have. But he's shown good ability to handle the NFL limelight pressure. So I have faith that he'll handle it the best way he can. And, you know, really, I hate to say it's cliche, but take it day to day. Just, you know, be cool and control what he can control. I know he's working hard. There's tons of workout videos. He's doing tons of great work on his body, his footwork, trying to put some more oomph on that throw. Can't knock the kid until we see what this looks like with a real offensive-minded coach. And you just heard them say it. It's common knowledge that the coach that was the head coach had no plans on keeping him. And for a long time there, I'm sure Tua felt like, well, this isn't where I'm going to end up because of the head coach. And that's changed. And so everything else should change too. So yeah, John. I actually opened the show with the jacket on. So if you go back and watch it later on, you can check it out. I showed it on the show. Let's see here, guys. I had a Barry Jackson Miami Herald article, and he kind of touches on what Dolphins fans realize were the shortcomings, more of where the blame goes for it. This has been a topic of discussion about Tua, and again, we're going to hear it all year until some video comes out with him operating the offense, and that's going to be months away. So Barry Jackson writes from the Miami Herald, the mistake the national media discussion about Tua Tagovailoa and what must improve the most. The national television analysts keep discussing whether Tua can maximize 6-time Pro Bowler or Tyreek Hill. They keep going back to the same concern, Tua's deep ball. But the concerns about Tagovailoa, and we'll get to those in a minute, that shouldn't be the top two. It's if it's a concern at all. Anyone who watched Tua complete bomb after bomb in Alabama knows he can throw the deep ball. Is he one of the league's best at that? No, but at least he is adequate at, best. I don't have questions of him being able to put the ball far enough downfield to make chunk yards. I've never had that worry. I know there's there's memes and all kinds of stuff that comes down where he just throws short of the ball. I do worry about him having injuries preventing that. And last year it was obvious he didn't have time. And again, injuries, psychological, these are the things that we need to see consistency from. They need to just tell the kid, go for it. And I think he needs to understand, and I would assume he does, that he's got to go for it. He's got to go for it and prove everyone wrong, prove the NFL that he's got what it takes to be a franchise quarterback, and really just, I mean, bro, he's got all these great weapons. Everything's built around having a great run blocking scheme that they're going to dial up matchups, and you're going to have to put it on their asses. Last season, Tagovailoa completed 14 of 29 passes that traveled at least 20 yards in the air. That's 48% accuracy, ranked second best in the league, narrowly behind Justin Herbert. So as a rookie, if Tua hadn't seen his receivers drop 3 well-thrown balls downfield, he had completed 13 of 19, which is 20 more with passes that were 20 air yards or more, which is 45% as a rookie. So if you eliminate the drops, Tagovailoa would have completed 46.5% in his rookie year. And it would be 46.5% in his first 2 seasons. That's top 5 in the league as far as accuracy goes. And this is per Barry Jackson. NBC, Chris Collinsworth told me recently, Tua can throw the deep ball plenty far enough to bring in Tyreek Hill and all the other speedsters that they have on the team. Collinsworth said it drives him nuts when people talk about the need for quarterbacks to throw it as far as possible. Instead, that doesn't often come into play during the games, which we've seen some plays where, yes, you got to push it down the field, Hail Mary style, but it's not like people are designing in a, series with timeouts and trying to control the clock. Let's just Hail Mary the football. That's not really, whatever. But it's all about timing and striking and dictating the run. And there's a real scheme. Again, I'm not going to broken record it, but I will a little bit for this conversation. It is to force them in single high safety, have that safety cheat, find the guy open in the zone spots, and just chew their asses up. That's it. Or you have matchup capabilities with all these playmakers that you might just chew their asses up anyhow. Just throwing darts, just tearing their asses up. That's what we should see with a healthy dose of the run game, which is, again, what they're going to establish before anything. Does Tagovailoa have a cannon like Herbert? Of course not. The arm was concerned coming off the hip injury in Alabama, but it shouldn't be now because he has regained power in his base. ESPN's Dan Orwalski, a voice of reason on Tagovailoa, pointed out Tua can throw the ball past 40 yards, America. He can do that. It's going to be okay. Tagovailoa didn't throw the deep ball more often last season, not because he lacks the ability, but because coaches didn't trust the offensive line to give him enough time for those routes to develop. That, I think everyone can agree upon. There was plays where he fell short, where he did have time, but that seemed mental. But it also seemed that maybe he was favoring his ribs, and they mention it here in this article. His mid-season rib injury made it difficult to throw deep for a few weeks. I think that's pretty clear. Whether it was re-aggravated, whether, just even in the game, he takes a shot and it hurts. These are all things, but those excuses, I know injuries suck too, man, because I don't want to say it's not an excuse to be injured. You take a bad shot you don't see coming from a guy who even, takes a cheap shot at that. That's terrible. We saw what happened to Tannehill when he got Calais Campbell right underneath, chopped his ass down. It's a terrible circumstance. God willing, that doesn't happen to Tua. But if it's just regular football and he gets banged up, that's not going to bode well for him, because he's got to be able to push the ball down the field with these guys at times. It's how it plays into the game plan. I mean, even San Francisco, they pushed the ball a couple times down the field to keep the defense honest, and it, hopefully you get ahead and you grind out the game with some runs. Yet the deep ball question keeps being asked: can Tua push the ball downfield? Former NFL safety ESPN Ryan Clark said, "Does he have a big enough arm? And when we are getting opportunities in play action, can he take the top off of a defense?" ESPN's Teddy Bruschi said, "Tyreek is the type of wide receiver that makes reckless look calculated," mentioning how, Kansas City would throw the ball, obviously. That's kind of something hopefully they'll work out in practice. There's a breakdown. Tua, Tyreek, he does this, or on this route, there's a breakdown. Look in these areas. That's going to be something they're going to have to, work on and trust each other. But like I said earlier, this was something that Tua was trying to do in college all the time. It was, in fact, what they said was a big problem. They didn't want him holding the ball, trying to push downfield. So if he can get some of that Tuscaloosa confidence back, and he does seem like he has a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder, and I'm happy to see it, because as much poking as fun as we do, it's good that the young man understands the position that he's in. I mean, bro, this is a make or break. He knows, everyone knows, this organization's all but made it very clear. It's not me that's trying to get a different quarterback. It's them. They have, and the owner. So there is something to prove. And I think the leash is shorter than we might know. Maybe they move off him mid-season, or I mean, if he gets injured, who knows what the hell happens. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to see any competition type of thing. I want this to be a sellout to find a certainty for next year. That's it. Can Tua be aggressive like that? Talking about Kansas City, the article continues with Tyreek Hill. Or can he, or is he conservative with catch and run passes, and that's all he can do? You need to be reckless at times, because when it's a guy down there, he will win it majority of the times. Talking about Tyreek Hill, this is Teddy Bruschi still talking. He's good at that. I don't know if Tua has that. I haven't seen it at this level, and I know that pisses off a lot of Tuan ears when they say I haven't seen it at this level. And I know we can go back to a couple times when Tua has taken shots, the Mac Hollins catch, at times in his rookie season and that Cardinals game. But I think when it just needs to be a weapon in his arsenal, a consistency, a little bit of something to hang your hat on with Tua in that way. Let me finish this article up. But that's because of the shortcomings of the line and a conservative nature of the offense, not because of any evidence that Tua can't throw the deep ball. Barry Jackson continues. Tagovailoa is tied with Cam Newton for the lowest percentage of deep passes attempts since 2020 at 7.1%. That's only behind the Niners' Jimmy Garoppolo, who threw it at just 6.2% of the time. So going to be asked just as few from Tua as far as putting the ball deep down the field. And I don't know. I think they're gonna dial up a few things when matches come up. I'm hoping that Tua and Tyreek work something out where they got that look and they go, "Hey man, I see who you're up against on this play, and that safety's over on this side of the field. They're gonna let you go one-on-one on the outside with that guy. Scratch the play. Call the audible. You just go." Put that double move. I'm going to throw it. As soon as you take that double move step, I'm going to put that ball up and out in front of you. They're going to need to do some stuff like that at times. And, that's what the league is about. I know people don't want to hear it. And I know that it probably goes against a lot of what the system is with running the ball and, sideline to sidelines, zone blocking, and play action is going to be play action, RPO, all that shit. Mobile quarterback on the run, throwing the ball is going to be the bread and butter. But you got to still take those deep shots, and you got to find them. You better do it on your terms early on in the season, because late in the season, you're going to have to throw them to win football games that you got to win. So they need to start getting live action on that type of shit and finding that connection deep downfield as soon as possible. So we'll see where that goes. Barry Jackson continues, and this article still has plenty left. And with Mike McDaniel coming from San Francisco, expect an offense based around short and intermediate throws. NFL Network, Maurice Jones-Drew said, they will take deep shots, but it's not a big part of the offense. So if you're worried about Tagovailoa, don't worry about the deep ball. Instead, worry about these two things. His durability. He has had 10 different injuries in the past 5 years and missed 4 games last season. He must prove he could stay healthy. I can't agree with that state more, because best ability is availability, and he has had injuries in college, all dating back to high school. Hopefully that's, listen, if you guys remember, Xavier Howard had plenty of injury problems. He has figured that out. It's not like he can't. What's happening, Sean? Family stuff, brother. Go back and watch the beginning of the video later on. I discussed, all the Easter festivities and my sink falling and shit. It's a whole bunch. But happy Easter. What's up, everybody who's jumped in the chat? Guys, make sure you're hitting the like button too. The number 2 thing that Barry Jackson says, the decision he makes sometimes in the face of a heavy pass rush. Tagovailoa had a 54.8% passer rating while under pressure last season, with only 3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. That was amongst the league's worst on Pro Football Focus. So it seemed like that goes back to consistency with him. It was just bad decision making, but those are rookie mistakes. And also, I don't think they did a good enough practicing this offense when things break down. Who does what? You know what I'm saying? Which might be a reason why they brought Tyreek in here, where it's the third quarter in the game, and say the team we're facing's got a wicked fucking pass rush and we're behind on points, and they just go, listen, Tyreek, you're not going to have the time to run this route. We're going to want you to do this. And then if the ball ain't there, you need to do that, because Tua's running and you got to come find him. This is something that's going to take the game to the next level if they can find that relationship and teach how Waddle and Tua can find that as well. Because when things broke down, Tua became very inconsistent. And it says so right here. Facing a heavy pass rush, he had 54.8% with 7 interceptions. So it is something. And Barry Jackson continues, he's nimble, avoiding sacks, but far too often throws regrettable passes in the face of a pass rush. If he can fix that, stay healthy, there's no reason he can't be a successful quarterback. What Tua should do as well, what he already does well, but needs to do it at an elite level, is deliver the ball quickly to receivers at precisely the right time and the spot that it needs to be. His performance in that area, how he plays in the face of the pass rush, and his durability are amongst the biggest determinations of his success, not whether he can throw the ball 60 yards down the field. And that's all I'm going to read on that. I mean, it couldn't get any more plain English than that. So yeah, that's right. His worst ability is availability at times. DDG. I don't know, man. All right. I'm dropping the link, guys. There you go, CT. You can hop in, my brother. Do have another video from the Dolphins. They had in Adam Ingroff, he's the co-director of player personnel. definitely a cool interview. Travis Wingfield, we'll go over that and stuff like that. Yeah, Most, I am happy we got what we got for Parker, because it's just time to let that kind of player go off this football team. It's not what the Dolphins are anymore, about mediocrity. What's going on, CT?
What's up, Chris? Happy Easter. I know you had that. I'll tell you, after I had that same shit happen to me, bro, I got brand new freaking countertops 2 years ago, and my drop-in sink, I had the stainless steel like farm sink, and did the same shit, bro. I have now. I'll send you the link through the private chat or through our group chat. They have these special. They're little straps that go underneath the sink to keep it from happening, because they do.
Yeah, I know.
They do that bullshit with the silicone, and they just silicone it in there. But you got to have something underneath it to support it, man. Because I had that shit happen a couple Christmases ago. No fun. No fun.
It's literally on Sunday morning of Easter. Boosh! Scared the hell out of me.
Oh my God! Water everywhere. Oh my God.
Yeah, water, pain in the ass,
No fun.
crack acid on is what it is. And then I've got it strapped up right now at East. I'm gonna go buy some pipe twine, and I'm gonna screw it and do that. I'm gonna put a brace in it. It ain't gonna break when I'm done with it, dude. I fix shit for good. So, but what's going on, Tony Pepperoni?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
What's
not
happening,
much,
my
not
man?
much. I was waiting for you on Easter, and I was waiting for
I was gonna come on.
Mike on the mic. He dropped out of a show too.
I know. Mike was gonna go on Saturday. He had some troubles there, and then I don't know what happened to him on Sunday. He was gonna come on tonight. He had some personal stuff tonight. But hopefully we'll see Mike again tomorrow.
Hey, Mike's good, man. Mike got that. Yeah. He got that only farmer that farmer shit, and it was just fucking up his internet, man.
Yeah, well,
my internet's been shitty today too for some reason.
Yeah, it's really.
Bro, I'm telling you, everybody, man.
I don't know what it is. Must be doing something.
I was at work and had internet issues at a goddamn hospital, bro. I was at a hospital and had some internet issues. My IT guy and I don't like each other.
I think it's the government.
I think it's the government.
I think it's the government, bro. That's who it is. I don't trust
it. It's
that.
a conspiracy.
Yeah, it is. Trying to bring the man down. Trying to hold me down.
Let me slow the internet down and let everybody's lives get a little slower.
Yeah, I don't think so. Trying to make that digital currency click over real quick and bankrupt us all. I see the forest through the trees, the bastards.
Maybe it's the Russians.
Nah,
could be, man.
They're broke. They don't shot their load trying to take bits of fucking Ukraine. They're broke now. They're in trouble.
I'm just joking.
They were still getting Big John the other night, though. Always Big John.
Oh, Big John been getting clipped by the Ukraine for quite a bit now, man. Poor Big John. Always getting clipped. Let's see.
But no, I think it's again. I agree with what you were saying. There's so many things out here that everybody wants to get on about, Tua or it's the team or whatever. And just, man, we've seen it all. We've been there, especially us, older guys. We've been there and we've seen it, and it's hard. It's hard to sit and be patient. But I think the way they're building this team, I had the question I put in the comments earlier is everybody wants to say, "Oh, Flo brought in this plan. Oh, Flo wanted to do this New England bullshit." Nah, Greer had this shit in his pocket. He's been waiting for the right time to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Flo was the right time to do it. And here it is. We're reaping the benefits, even without Flo.
I think Greer,
you know what I mean?
Up until Flores, up until the drafting of Flores, and all that stuff that year, that 2018, 2019 year. I think he fully took over everything that 2018 offseason to 19. And I think that's how he kept his job. I think he showed up with a real plan to the homeowner, excuse me, they could work now, to the owner, and said, look, well, this is a 5-year plan of where I want to be. And all along while drafting, because I think he just kind of ran the scouting type of shit for some of those years when he was GM, the Tannenbaum, when he split the role.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's like, you tell us the best players to get, we'll pick them. Because you could still see that if you look at what guys are left from the drafts, it's all this almost spitting image attitude, a little bit more personality here or there and just different guys. But as far as there's no real diva action, very selfless people, hard workers, a lot of blue collared type of guys that seem to be a little bit more laid back at the same time. There's a consistency in the attitude. So that's kind of why I touched on Christian Wilkins. Because I really think it's becoming more and more clear that they're going to extend him, and then they're going to try to figure out a way to keep him on this team because he fits the exact type of what they want to have in the locker room everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If they have 53 Christian Wilkinses, we'd be in damn good shape as far as, he's always plays, never injured. When you ask him to do more, he learns more. So, but
I agree. I think that a lot of people don't realize that. I feel like the first time around was Adam Gase for Greer, and he deferred to Adam Gase for everything. And then the second time around with Flo, he deferred to Flo to some things, but he got a little bit more of a backbone. And I think this year is when he was like, all right, fuck that. Flo's gone. It's my backbone. And I'm going to say, okay, I see what you want. And having McDaniel tell him, hey, these are the guys that I want. But Greer has finally stood up and said, all right, I'm going to make the decisions on guys I want based on what's available. And I feel like this is the first time where Greer, how many times did he tell us, oh, we're going to be aggressive. Oh, I'm going to build a consistent winner. But this is the first time that we've really seen him, not our head coach, but him take the steps to try to build this team into a consistent winner. And that's where I feel like Greer is finally kind of, I guess, for lack of better words, came into his own, I guess, if that makes sense.
I think it has a little bit of luck at the same time too. Definitely some growth, learning from his own mistakes. But I think with the Mike McDaniel hire, if you look again, it's the perfect attitude for that. If Mike McDaniel was an attitude of a player, that's who he's trying to draft. You know what I'm saying? So I think as far as attitude fitting, that's what, you know what I'm saying? As far as the culture that he foresees and wants now. And I kind of wonder, was this always part of the plan in some ways? Because I don't know how well things would have worked out with Mike McDaniel in a tanking team as far as head coach, especially that young. But now it's not about sternness. It's that kind of way's kind of gone. It's going to be hard to keep a team together. Maybe that might be the only type of attitude that could. If you were a little bit more laid back while tanking, that would have looked terrible. Getting people militant and getting everything you can out of it actually won us some football games in tanking. So I don't know. There might be a planned method to the madness there in some ways. I wouldn't surprise me if Chris Greer had a full idea. But then again, don't forget, remember, he wanted Mike McDaniel in here as an offensive coordinator back then as well. So,
yeah, 2 years ago.
It does fit the defense he wants and the offense he wants. So,
and I also think it's important to note that in that same sentiment that he brought in as the GM, the first time he brought in Gase as an offensive mind, but a little bit more of he wasn't as much of a player's coach, but he was more of an innovative genius. Then he made the mistake of bringing in Flores, he's not a player's coach, but he's a defensive genius. And now he's going to, all right, we're going to go back to offensive guy, but let's go with the player's coach this time and let's see if that works. So I feel like it's almost that, hey, I fucked up the first couple times. Let me get it right this time.
Maybe. Maybe it was more deferred on the owner in some ways. That's how he's kept his job,
Yo,
Maybe
guys,
it was always collaboration.
I wanted Vic
What's up, Tony?
Fangio. I didn't want Josh Boyer. I wanted them to get Fangio. He's a great defensive coordinator. I'm worried
I
about
wanted him
Boyer.
too.
I'm worried. I wanted that old Italian guy.
I agree.
Yeah, Fangio. I wanted him badly too. I think we're learning a little bit about that. Fangio was something that they were trying to get as defensive coordinator when Tom Brady and all that stuff. This was all stuff I was hearing all that back then. Remember, I heard it with Harbaugh actually. There was a lot going on back then.
If Brady keeps
But the
playing
thing
at
is
this level,
Fangio, well, the only reason that I think that a lot of people were fixated on that, and I like it, was Fangio played that same aggressive style of defense where we don't know, was it Flo or was it Boyer who called plays in the second half? And I feel like if we had brought Fangio in, we wouldn't be in this conundrum as Dolphins fans saying, this year, are we going to get Flo's defense or are we going to get Boyer's defense? So I agree with that. Fangio knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Boyer's got a great opportunity here to make a real big name for himself. He finds success this year, and if the defense takes a step forward, he could be a coaching candidate and probably get hired somewhere in a year or two. But I do worry. About that. We can't expect the defense to not take some kind of hit when the entire system was brought in by the guy that left the building, and there ain't no bullshit. He was a great defensive coordinator over in New England, and when he came here, he revamped this defense, and by the end of year one, we saw what kind of defense he was running. Year two, it was firing on all cylinders there. But it's not like we lost any of the talent, and it's not like we're changing the entire defensive plan. Boyer's got a real opportunity. Really, where it'll come down is if the pressure's on the defense late in the game, is Boyer going to figure it out? But we have playmakers too, and I don't know. I think this defense can hold up and make Boyer look pretty good at times.
I agree. I think that it's not like it was the last 3 years where we were solely focused or solely, concentrated on what the defense can do for the team. Now it's if the offense can put up points, even if it's another, 7 to 10 points a game, the defense becomes that much less paramount. Because, we still need them to perform, but not the same way the last 3 years, where we need them to be elite and hold guys to, 13 to 17 points. If we can score 28 to 31 points a game, then the defense is no longer the focus of the team, if that makes sense.
Dude, we start scoring 31 points. Well, I think if we can get closer to 26 average points, that's pretty damn good. That's top of the league as far as points go.
Yeah.
Really, I think it's 24.5 points is the goal on average, because you know how it goes. It always averages out. Some of those games you only get 6 points and win a game sometimes. But I think the whole idea is a great run game. All the coaching, all the hires, damn near all the money is all the outside money bringing things in is all offense. Defense kept intact. I think it was Omar Kelly that said this, that Chris Greer essentially just wants to see this team with a different coach and a better offensive mind coming in here and see exactly what it is. And can you blame them? Defense was killer.
Nope.
Offense sucked. There was no identity. There was no scheme as far as blocking, and there was no real game plan at times. There's no creativity. There was some creativity in the team at times, but definitely none on offense. Crypto, what's going on, my guy?
Crypto.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy belated Easter.
You too, brother.
You too, brother. You too.
So what's the deal? What's the deal, Chris? Is the media warming up to the Dolphins now? What's happening? I've been missing out.
No, it's been pretty straight line. There's still
Looks
questions on
like
Tua. There's no certainty.
Looks like not Chad Johnson. Looks like no love for what's his name? Keyshawn Johnson, huh? He's the biggest Tua fan out there.
Keyshawn got no love.
I see
he's
the biggest Tua fan we got out there. Keyshawn Johnson, that is.
Oh man, he's big time. Apparently, he got all kinds of love. No man, I get it. And Tua's gonna take these slings and arrows from now until he proves it during the season.
Yep.
But I mean, look, I say good. Sleep. Keep sleeping. This could only be a good thing. This could only be a good thing if he comes out hot right away, operating at a high level, because all the tape and all the narrative will be, hey, Tua's not going to push it, load the box. Going to be opportunities. They're going to test him early. And as I said earlier, they're going to have to show it early and often to try to get that chemistry worked out where, hey, if I'm not there at that, Tyreek, if you get to your break and you're at the end of your route and you look and you don't see Tua looking at you already, the ball's come out, that means shit hit the fan. Do this at that point, and they work that out together. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That's how you script chaos a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And Tyreek Hill's great at that, but they're gonna need to push the ball downfield. They got to. CT, is crypto breaking up or is that me?
Yeah,
Everyone's breaking up.
Breaking up a little bit.
Except me.
Hey, Crypto, go out and come back in, man. Go out and come back in. I think you were breaking up real bad.
Okay, let me try and go out and come in.
No, you're good now.
All of a sudden he's fine. Yeah, now all of a
sounds great right now. That's great.
Yeah,
all right, I'll see you guys later.
It sounds crazy.
That sounds amazing now.
It's that Russian hackers, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. It's on.
Somebody still
fire
intercepted
mode.
my Wi-Fi signal.
Nah,
Actually,
it was
I'm
Ross, bro. You talked to Ross earlier, and Ross said, "Nah, I don't want Crypto to say nothing."
Yeah,
Right.
Crypto got to wait till backstage to give me the juice.
Right.
Yep. We got to get the daily call from Ross from Crypto backstage because Ross got them hackers on it.
Yeah, he
watching
does.
it quick.
He's dispatched the flying monkeys. He
got the
dispatched
special team on Crypto, bro.
All the flying monkeys are dispatched.
You know what, too, guys? Something to think about is, and I agree with Tony Pepperoni. I am worried about Boyer, but all this focus on all these new offensive weapons and, Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, what this offensive scheme and offensive line is going to look like. Tyreek Hill and then Jalen Waddle lost on people is the real stories that if any other team of the Dolphins, we'd be talking about, hey, Javon Holland, second-year jump. Jalen Phillips, second-year jump. What are these guys going to do? It's something forgotten in some slight of ways. And even the defense in a whole, everybody is Agba, which it wouldn't be uncommon. These guys right around 28, 29, 30. Sometimes that's when they have their best pass rushers have their best years.
Right.
Seen everything, know how to do with their role, and then now you're paying the guy the money you're paying him. You're going to ask him to pin his ear back when you know it's time to go get the quarterback. And if Jalen Phillips takes a step, who knows? We might have a pass rush we didn't have last year. Did you guys see that video of the scouting guy on the Dolphins come on and talk?
No. What happened?
You guys see that video? All right.
What
So
happened?
Travis Wingfield had nothing happened. Relax, dog. Travis Wingfield had co-director of player personnel Adam Ingoft on the show. They talked a little bit about some of the scouting and stuff like that, and they go over Jalen Phillips and Jerome Baker, and figure we'll watch that, guys. What you think?
Yeah, go for it. Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to see these behind the scenes shit. These guys that talking the talk. Let's see you walk the walk.
I'm Travis.
Right.
All right.
Springfield joined today by Adam Ingroff. Adam, thanks for coming in, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
What is your title and role with the Miami Dolphins?
I am the co-director of player personnel, and basically I oversee the college scouting department. It's just another way of getting another set of eyes on the player. And I'll go to a school, a scout in August or September will say, hey, you need to go check this guy out. So I like to see the top 150 players in the country before the draft, and I follow up, and I just do it like what any other scout and any other NFL team would do. Go to the school, talk to the coaches about the person, which is obviously very important to us, and watch them practice, maybe catch a game if I'm there, if I time it up right. So just another cog in the wheel as far as our scouting process.
So I want to talk about four guys these days. Start here with Jerome Baker, who just got a second contract with the Miami Dolphins.
First of all, what a badass job, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to have that job.
And he does things the right way.
I don't know. He kind of looks like a baby face though.
A baby face?
He looks like look at the patchy. Look at the patchy. Look at the patchy on his chin.
Oh, bro.
On his jaw.
That looks like a Floridian. That looks like a Floridian to me, bro. We can't grow it. It's too fucking hot to grow full-on beards when you've been. He might be like third or fourth Floridian generation like myself. We can't grow fucking beards when you live down there.
That's true. That's true. I'm just saying he looks like a young guy. He looks like a young guy. That's all I was saying.
Somebody didn't give Fitzpatrick the memo.
Well, Fitzpatrick ain't a Florida guy. He wasn't born in Florida, multi-generational in Florida.
He was up north. He had to grow that beard to keep his fucking face warm.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro. Yeah. You stay down here. You're
like he's from Iceland.
By your third generation Floridian, you can't grow no facial hair no more. Don't grow much body hair. That fact.
With the Miami Dolphins. And, he does things the right way, obviously. But when you kind of had a chance to get to know him early on in the scouting process, what about his character and makeup really stood out to you guys?
Very smart, passionate about the game, very productive college player. But we knew that he loved football. He was very athletic, and he's very fast. He could run, and a very smart football player.
What made him really stand out among his peers in the linebacker class that year in that draft class?
Speed. He can really run. I mean, the Big Ten championship
that ain't
game,
no bullshit.
He really stood out. He was all over the field, and there's just something you can't teach him, that speed, and that's what he has.
I'll never forget the rep where he ran on a wheel with Saquon Barkley at the sideline, step for step. That was
Hell yeah.
Cool to see.
That's what he does.
That's what he does. What about him, made him a good fit for the Miami Dolphins?
I think the Jerome Baker Patrick Mahomes sack is probably the highlight of his career, really, because we had been watching Patrick Mahomes just escape the pocket and throw these freakish throws and just torch motherfuckers way far out the pocket. And Jerome Baker shoelaces his ass for probably the biggest loss of yards in a sack all year. Really just, probably I can't imagine him not feeling like probably proudest of that sack. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, yeah, bitch, try to get away.
It was good until, he got his ass. I was saying until he got his ass roasted by Allen on a few runs.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
Then it made him
he's-
it made him look a little mediocre.
We had no in the box safety help on that. They do ask Jerome.
I agree.
That's the one thing though.
I agree.
To me, Jerome is, and I've said it often, he might be the most undervalued, most valuable piece on this team on the defense. You lose him with all the things they ask him to do, we're in deep trouble. That's somebody I'm hoping that
Right.
maybe next year's draft they find a guy in the future to ease some of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's great
If
as a
they could
pass
find
rusher
a
too.
damn
when they
middle
bring him off that
linebacker
edge
who
blitz.
can play the run, Baker would be
God,
so much
bro.
more effective. That's the issue. Is if we can find a guy who's an absolute instinct middle linebacker and allow Baker to play at that blitzing outside, play him in short coverage where he can take that wheel route, those quick outs. He has the sideline to sideline speed. His problem is in the run game, he's just atrocious. And that's our major issue.
I think there's a good chance that a good middle linebacker could be there in the third. You know what I'm saying? But it's probably going to be best player available for them come the third. They could go anywhere. They could go pass rusher. They could go center. They could go anywhere. And that's right up Chris Greer's alley. He shows no card in the draft at all. None at all.
Yep. You got to give him credit.
No, we
You
touched on
got to
it just
give him
earlier.
credit.
It's the football makeup, which
He's definitely good at his job.
That's what he does. What about him, made him a good fit for the Miami Dolphins on the field and also in the locker room?
well, we touched on it just earlier. It's the football makeup, which is important to Chris. The football intelligence is key. Can he learn the defense? Can he play multiple roles, which he has proved he can do. He does a lot of things in our defense right now. So, and then just get to know the person, if he's a good fit for the organization. He's just like interviewing for any other job. At the combine, this is basically a job fair, but Jerome fit that bill.
That's one of the things that he is, right? A big leader on this Miami Dolphins football team. When you kind of did some background on him, what was some of the common things that were told to you about the way he led at Ohio State there?
The coach is all stressed. He's a playmaker. He's tough. He plays hard, and there's a lot of upside with him because he was younger. And they thought there was a real high ceiling for him, which he's proved to be.
We're going to stay in that position group and talk about.
He is young still, too.
Run up to the draft,
Yeah,
the
different
combine
path.
last year. How was that process different in getting to know Jalen Phillips, both from the character standpoint, makeup?
Yeah.
He's an interesting story for me personally because I have some very good friends that were on the UCLA coaching staff at the time. And I was out at practice and they're showing me the players, this guy, and then I go, who's that guy? And
Freaking
that's
freak.
our number one recruit. He's, he's going to be a big time player, big NFL, prospect. I was like, that guy looks like a first round pick right there. He's a true freshman. So he's just a very gifted athlete and he's come a long way and it's a long journey for him, but seeing him.
Dude, his body control for fucking running as fast as he does, it's just insane, man. This guy, to me, could have the highest ceiling out of anyone on the football team. I'm dead serious, bro. I think we forget sometimes how crazy of an athlete Phillips is with the potential of what he could be when it's all said and done. He's so fast and being so big, and he looks so lean too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He could be a guy that
It's in the blood.
I guess, bro. All I know is I ain't never, for as big as he is, and he looks like he gets bigger every time I see him. It looks like he gets taller, doesn't it? Looks like he ain't done growing. This son of a bitch, just a giant.
Right. Tell me about it.
I hope I want to see him with his hand in the dirt, like coming off the edge,
I think he's
hands in the
gonna get
dirt,
more
both
opportunities
hands
to
out
do
of the
that.
4-point stance.
Yeah.
I like when they have him standing up on the edge.
He's going to be more like Jason Taylor.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I hate the fact that everybody wants to focus on his bullshit at UCLA with the concussion issues. He's obviously past that. Yes, there's always the propensity to have more, but the fact that he's the player that you want. He's aggressive. He's strong. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's got all the physical attributes. And yes, there's always that propensity of injury and concussions. Every single player deals with that same exact propensity. But the fact that he came in and we used him out of sorts because we try to play him, push back and in zone at times. We try to play him in a linebacker role where he's not well suited. Can we please just use him, just like Crypto said, as a Jason Taylor? Yeah, I could use him as a linebacker inside or outside every once in a while as a run stopper because he has the size. But please, let's just let him fucking rush the passer, please. Can we please just do that?
Yeah, but
please.
Exactly.
I understand why they use him in the run game because his lateral ability, he's able to cover such a wide range of that ground. And really, with our poor linebacker play early on, he did help when things broke down and they got up the middle. The son of a bitch was so fast. He got upfield and caught guys from behind often. He's if he can learn how to play the edge at home and slide inside and fill the gaps behind them, we're talking Pro Bowl all day because I know he can rush the passer. I know when it's 3rd and long, I want to see him, full speed ahead. I'd like to see him out of that 4-point stance because underrated was how strong he is. At times, I can remember him getting underneath guys and just throwing them right the hell out of the way. So if we see just more of that, I know he's got that speed and his double hand swipe. He was pretty good. He's still working on his foot movement. We know he's fast enough to neutralize mobile quarterbacks. It's certain. I've seen him do it. He's able to come on from the edge, and even if they're running away from him, he's got good foot pursuit to catch these guys.
He's going to be our long-term answer to Josh Allen.
But that's where I have the issue. And
for Josh Allen.
He's our long-term answer for Josh Allen.
I agree, but where I had the problem, and I've said this multiple times, is sometimes this coaching staff, they want to say, okay, we're going to bring these guys and we're going to make them multiple on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to make them multiple. Okay. Well, why don't we focus on, all right, let him develop as a pass rusher, let him be elite at that. And then once he's good or great at one thing, then let's allow him to become multiple. I feel like they tried to make him multiple this year before he was ready to be multiple, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They try to force him into it. And that's where I had the issue.
You know what, CT? I don't know. I kind of thought it was the right time in some ways. Trial by fire. He did okay. It was some growing pains, but he did all right. I think it was also because until we can have Jerome Baker, well, okay.
Right.
Look, now that we have safety help that can come down inside the box and fill in a little bit of the role, maybe Jerome Baker can play more of that centerpiece linebacker to allow Jalen Phillips just to do the pass rush, because what they were doing a lot of times because of his ability, that's why they're playing more at linebacker, because they need him to drop back and hold that zone down because of, just by numbers of the scheme. So again, I think we're going to see, and this is what I want to look for, is on obvious passing situations when everyone knows and he's on the field. I want to see the kind of damage Agba and Phillips can level this thing up, because hopefully this offensive scheme puts pressure on that offense to pass more often than run. You know what I'm saying? That we're controlling the clock with the run game. We're maintaining the time of possession, and we're putting touchdowns and not field goals up on your ass. And then,
I
before you know
agree,
it,
but
you're
I
down
think
2 scores, and you got to start passing.
I agree. I'm just
We don't
saying that
need
it's
the
concerning
Sperano
to
cheering for
me.
field goals.
I just thought it was concerning to me
we don't want
that they tried to push. They tried to push Phillips into taking some of the responsibility off of Baker. That's where I had the issue.
Well, I don't think that's what it. I don't think it was about taking responsibility off Baker as much as it was just so much uncertainty with the safety position, because we moved off Bobby McCain, and on the D line, as far as the pseudo linebacking role, Van Noy was gone. So really, if they just sped the kid along. Honestly, same thing with the offensive line last. If there was the time, piss on go. We weren't winning a Super Bowl last year, guys, as badly as I wanted to go to the playoffs. I didn't expect to. Now, I would have loved to. Criticism, I would have hoped to have more answers on Tua than I have questions right now. But I can still see all the sense in continuing with the plan on every way, because there's still questions, maybe more answers with other players. But the biggest one was they lost Van Noy, they lost Bobby McCain, and the duties that those two had on the defense that got us, almost to the playoffs the year before with 10 wins. That growing pain early on for Baker and Jalen Phillips, Baker taking a little bit of different role, Jalen Phillips taking some of those snaps, and then Javon Holland and Brandon Jones too. Brandon Jones made mega jumps. This is the best case scenario, because going in this year, it's not about growing, it's about continuity and continued. It's really going to be the defense could take, dude, if we just see Jalen Phillips take a marginal step up next year, he could be in double-digit sacks, no problem. We could we could have a pass rush we haven't had around here with a duo that I can't remember the last time we had a big-time outside pass rushing duo. Back when we had Cameron Wake and Porter
Taylor
there for
Gunley and Taylor.
You said Taylor.
So
Gunley and Taylor. Gunley and Taylor were the last. I guess if you want to say reasonable duo, because I think Gunley was underrated. Taylor absolutely played amazing during his time, but Gunley and Taylor were a great duo. But we also had Zach Thomas to play a middle linebacker, where Landon Roberts can't play that same role. But Landon Roberts can't play that same role. Landon Roberts struggles, even though he's a thumper. He does get in there sometimes. But Landon Roberts has his problem, and we've seen it multiple times this past year, where he'll get caught up in traffic and he'll dive at guys' feet instead of trying to make a wrap-up tackle. And that's where Landon Roberts had a lot of missed tackles that cost us this year, especially on
think
3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
But wasn't that Olivier Vernon back in the day?
Say it again.
I said, wasn't that Olivier Vernon back in the day?
Yeah, Olivier Vernon too. Olivier Vernon too did the same thing.
Yeah.
But that was the whole point, is having one, as in Jason Taylor, having the prominent guy, but having a secondary guy who can create enough pass rush to create an issue as a defense. But we still had, again, we had a solid middle linebacker at Zach Thomas that allowed us to play that type of defense. And I don't think that Landon Roberts is that guy.
If you, I'm going to play the video. but there's a common theme on defense, and it's multiple. And if you remember, when we brought in Emmanuel Ogbah, I think we all felt he could rush the passer, but really they use him in a multiple way, inside, outside. They put him, you know what I'm saying? His ask of duties is different. Same thing with Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer. And if you guys see, there's no one job for anybody on this football team. You got to do it all, and that's what Chris Greer wants.
That first day, it's kind of like come full circle. I mean, he's a hell of a player.
What about his game and his traits as far as pass rush, setting a strong edge and the multiple things he does? What did you see about his tape that really stood out to you guys?
Well, number one, I mean, a complete freak athlete. He can do whatever he wants on a football field, which, not all guys can do. But again, I'm going to go back to speed.
Just clobbering fools, dude.
Relentless pursuit, a natural pass rusher who can run like so physically gifted. I mean, he's got all the traits you can't teach, so that's why he was a first-round pick.
What about his journey that people maybe haven't heard about? Can you tell us about with Jalen Phillips?
What's really special about him is he went through a lot as a person and then in his football career, and he could have walked away from football really. And he showed his passion and commitment to the game by moving across the country, sitting out a year, getting bigger and stronger, coming in the program, keeping to his goal, and then, becoming a first-round pick. So I think his journey is probably the coolest thing about him that people don't know about him.
Let's stay in that linebacker room with Andrew Van Ginkel, who's a fifth-round draft pick who, he had a longer journey in terms of going from multiple schools too. What about him really stood out in the way you guys kind of went into his investigation and background and trying to find out about him?
The gank.
As far as the mental makeup and character, what stood out about Andrew Van Ginkel?
Another interesting story, small school guy that just wanted to prove himself at the next level. And the thing about Andrew is he's very athletic for his size, and he's very instinctive. He's a playmaker, and he just kind of knows how to be around the ball and make a play when it counts.
I like to say that I don't think that his production matches what he actually does in the football field for us.
I wish Andrew Van Ginkel was our middle linebacker. I wish he was our middle linebacker. I would feel really good about that, him playing that middle linebacker role. But they've put weight on him and have him playing that edge role. I understand it because if he maintains that speed, and they ask him to do a lot. But man, could you imagine if he could play middle linebacker for us? We would answer a lot, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
As far as the sacks go last year. So what are some things that maybe go unnoticed by the casual fan that you really like about his game?
Well, he does a lot of things in the defense, dropping in coverage, sliding at blitzing, lining up everywhere, left side, right side. He's just so versatile because he's very smart, and the athletic ability. He's one of those guys who I always like to describe as a pain in the ass player because, like you said, he might not make the sack, but he contributes to the pressure or the play or does the right thing so somebody else can come in and make a play.
So one more guy that makes plays, and we'll go to the offensive side here, is Mike Gesicki, and he was a second-round pick back in 2018. What really stood out about his game when you guys first got a look at him and got to meet him?
In college, going back to another big game, he made some unbelievable catches in the red zone, deep balls, and just like we've seen at the NFL level, the rare body control and ball skills and hands are what separated him, but he's a weapon in the pass game. He's a mismatch player. He did that in college.
Seems like more and more these days, multi-sport athletes make the jump to the NFL, and tight ends in particular, and basketball. But he also had the volleyball.
Oh yeah, I love the basketball highlights, just slamming them.
In other sports.
It's kind of just.
He is a freak athlete.
Icing on the cake, obviously you just watch the football and what they do on the field, and then you watch the body control and the hands, and then. Our area scout or one of the other scouts you should see this guy's dunking highlights. And so we put it on. We're like, holy crap, this guy can elevate, block shots. And I didn't see any volleyball tape, so I got to be honest there.
I've seen the volleyball tape. It's pretty cool.
Very impressive. If you guys haven't watched it, it's pretty sweet watching him dunk on people and alley-oop, windmill. He can do it all.
I love that you're watching the basketball tape. I do want you to see the volleyball though too, because the spikes are pretty
impressive.
He's
just watching the guys just slamming the ball on.
Yeah, it's not fair for the other team. But going back to kind of the character stuff and the makeup, and Mike is a high energy guy. What did you really notice about him this out first, as far as the makeup goes?
I mean, fun guy to be around, big personality. Lights up a room when he came in and talked to us. Very smart. He's an easy one. You don't feel uncomfortable around him, and those kind of guys are kind of fun to interview because you just get to know that the person as far as They're just good guys to be around, guys you want to go have a beer with.
Adam Ingroff.
Yeah, I like when Travis does the interviews to guys like that. That's the guy I want to hear from. You know what I'm saying? Co-director of player personnel and shit like that. That's pretty cool. He's definitely an interesting character.
Yo,
I feel real good about the defense. What's going on, MC? How you been, buddy?
What's up, MC?
Man, I've been working my ass off. I'm so tired right now. Man, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris. You're saying something?
No, you're good, dog. You're good. There was a draft wire prediction for they had their draft from draft wire, and they predict that the Dolphins take Cincinnati edge defender at pick 102. So they do like a recent mock draft. They do like mock drafts and shit like that. And the kid from Cincinnati, he's 23 years old, spent 4 years on Cincinnati, had 119 tackles, 24.5 for a loss, 13.5 sacks, 12 pass deflections. He got a 20.2 by PFF rush win rate, which is comparable to Jalen Phillips with a 20.4. He received when he got going to his draft. So it's somebody to think about in depth, which I found to be interesting because we haven't heard a lot of people saying with the pick 102 that they would take, everyone's thinking running back or center and stuff like that. But I just said, even you can go anywhere on the board. And the fact that they did this mock draft is pretty cool. I thought that they got this pass rusher. 3-year starter whose unorthodox moves can be off-putting until you realize it could also help put you in position to make plays, whether playing on the run or rushing the passer. Sanders is flexible and slippery, making it hard to sustain run blocks and mirror him during pass sets. He needs to diversify his rush counters, but he has foot quickness and efficiency movement and a cut to clean, and he will cut to a clear path into the pocket. Sanders is a segmented mover with a slender build and might need to be more of a 3-4 outside linebacker, which is kind of what we have Jalen Phillips playing at now. His potential to earn snaps as a designated pass rusher because he does have pass rushing moves. That's what Lance Zierlein compares him. He sounds like a scheme fit, a player type fit. Which it's Majahi or Myjahi, I can't, Myjai Sanders on Cincinnati. So I thought that was pretty interesting that they could go depth at pass rusher, which, they could do anything right now. That's the beauty of where we sit. Because I think even after the draft, we could see a couple of guys be brought in still. So I think they understand they do need depth at pass rusher. Remember, Melvin Ingram was in here recently. So they don't get a guy like this kid from Cincinnati. They could probably still make a run at Melvin Ingram. There's still guys available. I think Calais Campbell is still available too. I know Justin Houston is as well. So there's still guys on the market, but there is going to need to be depth in certain positions. Let's see. All right, so I have another article here from Barry Jackson. Dolphins bring in talented running back prospect team headquarters. It's 6-pack of notes from the Dolphins Thursday. They bring Dolphins still open to adding another running back. This week they brought in LSU's Tyron Davis-Price to team headquarters, meet with coaches, management, according to an LSU source familiar with his schedule. Davis-Price ran 211 times for 1,003 yards last season with an average of 4.8 yards, and he has a 4.6 career yard average.
Yo, Chris.
What's up, MC?
Did we ever sign what's his face? God damn, can't think of his name right now. shoot. I know he played defense. That's just defense.
Melvin Ingram. Talking about
No,
Melvin Ingram.
no. I think it was a safe. Oh, Honey Badger.
No,
Did we ever
that
say-
hasn't
No, we
happened
didn't.
yet.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
I was just wondering. My
Mm-mm.
bad. I've been.
I'm
That's how
hearing
busy I've been.
he
at
might go
work.
to the Raiders. I'm hearing he might
Oh.
go to the Raiders.
Fuck the Raiders. I'm sorry. Oh God.
Chunky old Raiders.
Raiders. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. You good. He hasn't had a chance to do a lot in the passing game and closed his career with just 28 receptions for 185 yards. He's 6'1", 232 pounds. Lance Zierlein says he's big, athletic back, offering an enticing blend of size and explosiveness to go with his SEC pedigree. He has an enigmatic back feel featuring urgency, elusiveness, physicality, and fitness on any given carry. He's gotten better as the season progressed and clearly finds the rhythm as it gets volume and carries. This might be somebody that they could target. Seems like those kind of in between the tackles running backs that we would see San Francisco pick up in the 4th round or something like that. It seems like those guys. That's why I'm hoping again for that guy from Florida. What's going on, Alex? How was your Easter, bud?
What's up, Chris? My Easter was good. Just the kids enjoyed themselves, and that's all that matters.
That's good. That's right.
They ate a bunch of candy.
Yeah, they did.
Man,
We had eggs all over the entire house.
What's going on, Gupta? MCJB, what's going on?
Hey, Alex.
Hope you guys had a great Easter. Hope you guys and your families are spoke. All of you guys, including you, Chris. Hope all you guys staying blessed and your families as well.
I had a terrible.
Yeah, we had a great time. I had my whole family. You had a terrible Easter. It's terrible.
I had to fucking work.
Oh.
I had to work.
Hey, it's all good, man. At least you made money. That's all that matters.
I had to work a 9 to 5, which is terrible.
On Easter, and it's hard.
Bro,
Yeah.
oh my God. I was like, and I woke up like having that feeling. You know how sometimes you have that feeling like you don't want to work. When you wake out of the bed, you're like, oh, I hate to go to work. You ever have
Oh
ever
no,
have that
I
feeling?
love it.
Yeah.
Everybody feels like that, of course.
No, like it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain this, but like I had that day yesterday. I was like, oh my God, this shit was
you'll have
terrible. Hold on, I'll tell you later. No mind.
I'm really hoping that James Cook can fall to us. I would really love to pick him up. That's the one person that really mostly had my eye on mostly.
I don't know.
Or
I'm
Alex
scared
Lindstrom.
about James Cook.
Lindstrom as well.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
Crypto
I
said
know a lot of
before,
people
he
are
told-
high.
My bad. You
Go ahead.
first.
What'd you say? Go ahead.
No, I was
wanna
just
hear what you said.
saying. I'm scared of like picking up James Cook. I know y'all say his highlight tape was like great and all, but I'm picking back in what Crypto kind of said a long time ago. He's like the same size as Miles Gaskins.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I'd
I'm
like
a
a little
little-
bit.
If Miles,
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
I'd like a little bit bigger. I'd like a little bit bigger of a running back too, man.
Yeah.
Or
like
at least
like usually
somebody around the 220, 230 range.
Usually, like NFL running backs, the great ones are like power backs, not speed type backs. Like if you, like
Speed
Leonard
back.
Fournette, he's a power back. What's the other dude's
Derrick
name?
Henry.
Especially Derrick Henry. God,
Yeah.
yes, he's definitely a power back. But he can also move like crazy, which
but
is
they
well for
they
this big ass size.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you got and Moss is kind of on it too, like a Moser style fit. We want a big dude that can run between the tackles with some speed. You mean a great running back? Duh. Like they're rarer than you think, but
Next year
that's why
is the
when I
running
look as
is
far
the
as what we have on the roster, but what we have on the roster to what can be the next thing on the roster or what we could miss are missing in the running back room. That's why I like the kid from Florida. Go watch his film. That kid's I'm telling you, he's only 20 years old. There's a lot of
What's
tread
his
on the
name?
tires on that. I don't know why, but Damian Pierce.
Oh, okay.
Hold on,
okay.
let me
Damian
see if I
Pierce.
can.
Okay.
Wait, he's
hold on, let
only
me
a
see if I can-
sophomore?
Oh yeah, I know about Damian
Yeah.
Pierce. Yeah, I saw that kid, man. He's legit. He really is legit.
Alabama had a tough time with him.
He's got a lot of he's young. They didn't the Gators didn't use him very good. You know what I'm saying? They didn't use him
Yeah.
often. He was very effective in his limited snaps, and I'm telling you, the dude's gonna be really, really good. He's a beast, bro. He runs with very good speed and bursts through the hole and out of a zone blocking scheme outside. He gets to that second level. He's got enough wheels on him to make. He's physical. I'm just telling you. He looks like a young dude too, like a guy that only gets bigger and stays that fast. So
Hey, Chris, I got a question for you. Are you a Gator fan? Before I ask the question.
no,
Oh,
no,
okay. Never
I'm a
mind.
Canes fan.
Okay, never mind.
Why? I don't hate the Gators.
It's either
If that's
one.
what
It's
you're
either
asking.
one. I think it was Tonk that liked the Gators. Never mind. I
Tonk
was
likes
gonna
the
say.
Gators and
I was gonna say this if you were a Gator fan.
Brandon the Bookie's Gators fan.
Okay, I'm gonna ask
You know,
him that question.
This
Go
is
ahead, Al.
something I've noticed. My bad, MCJB.
No, you good.
You know,
You good, bro.
being an Alabama fan and being a Dolphin fan, bro, you know that's gonna be so tough on you because of the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. You have the snake over there, the snake coaching, roaming the sidelines.
I actually love it. I get what you're saying, though, Alex. I do, but I wouldn't say he changed Alabama. They were good. They sucked for a while, and then became good. I don't know. I get what you're saying though with the Miami part, but fuck it, we ball. Old Tyrell,
Yeah, true.
Dolphins. I got no words. Sorry, I'm just so exhausted. Right? I'm like literally laying in my bed just talking to y'all. I'll think of something.
It's all good, man. So, Dolphins draft preview a little bit for a position of need potentially for the Dolphins. Definitely, if we're looking at glaring holes, there aren't really any, but there's a reason why everyone's thinking inside linebacker and center. Center probably being. I'm gonna put your mic. I don't know who that is. Who is that? Is that you, Alex? Yeah, it's you, Alex.
What am I doing?
Alex got
feedback.
Is it Alex? Yeah, it's Alex with the feedback. Yeah, you got loud feedback, Alex.
It's not that bad though.
I'm sorry.
Just mute your mic when you're not talking, if you could.
I was actually going to say something before we move on. I'm sorry, Chris. You know,
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't think center's like a glaring. It's not like a huge, like, big need.
It's not a pressing
because we could roll with Dieter there, and you can easily draft the backup like in the 6th or 7th round
too. As far as you think in depth, like, okay, Dieter goes down, who's stepping in at center? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If one of the linebackers goes down, there's a bunch of linebackers. So Chris Greer, if you want to put what's most important, it might be that position now to reach on that or to allow a better player that's sitting on your board slip through your fingers because you bet on, that. I don't think Chris Greer would do that, but there's an article from Barry Jackson about center as far as draft preview for the Dolphins and competition for Michael Dieter in that aspect. And they go over a couple of things. So I'll read this article real quick. Dolphins upgrade their offensive line by adding 2 veteran starters to the offseason, but still have a need for depth at center. Michael Dieter, who started 8 games in 2021, is the only player on the Dolphins roster listed as center. General manager Chris Greer told reporters last month, league owners meetings, that the team would add competition for Dieter, who is a 3rd-round pick in 2019, if everybody remembers.
Hey,
So
Coach.
he basically did say that there's going to be competition for Dieter. What's up?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I think Q's trying to get in.
Oh,
with
all right.
the link. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good, dog. You're good. I'll drop the link. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So anyhow, as Greer stated, depth and competition for Dieter. Hold on, is that where I was at? Yeah. As Greer stated, depth and competition for Dieter. Pro Football Focus graded Dieter as below average center in 2021. No shit. I wouldn't say he was a great center. I don't think he was terrible. Below average probably sounds right. But he believes the 25-year-old still can, have more in this developmental window. The athletic criteria that the team would seek in a tackle applies to center, but this position also comes with a mental barrier to climb. The center is often regarded as the quarterback of the offensive line, with players needing to make snap calls in lines, calling out protections, communication from one side to the other, identifying, the mic. All these things is real important for the center. Bring somebody in at the, that's not a veteran and try to get someone in the 3rd round. He'd have to be a pretty damn good center. Now, if that happened, that would be pretty amazing. They brought in a guy from 3rd.
Hey, Chris.
Go ahead.
Batman's not gonna be happy with you because of Dieter. His guy Dieter is gonna be still on the team. His favorite guy.
I'm not saying Dieter. I have no hate towards Dieter. In fact, I think Dieter, and I've said this quite often, I think a lot of people think Dieter's
we
an
all know
easy
Batman
target
wanted
to
on the
change.
team.
They mentioned Barry Jackson mentioned, he was a below average, center. I disagree with that completely because I don't think he was not the problem on the O-line.
No, he
was
wasn't.
Definitely not the problem. He was, in my opinion, I think he did very well for what he, for being a center. I thought he did above average. He was great. He was good last year, but he was definitely not the problem.
I would say he did a serviceable job. He wasn't as good as Ted Karras. That goes without said. He didn't.
Yes. Where's Ted Karras?
Getting off his.
Cincinnati.
Ted Karras signed with Cleveland.
No,
Cincinnati. No, it was Cincinnati. My fault. I always get the two fucking mixed up.
He's gonna.
He signed
they moved. Deal. They moved him to guard. The Patriots moved him to guard, so they had Andrews and Karras on the same starting together, side by side last year. So I'm guessing he's gonna be the starting left guard, and with Moppet being the right guard. Alex Moppet.
Okay.
I think he got like 12 mil or something like that, guaranteed.
Yeah, he got pretty good money.
That's huge.
And he got decent money. That's the team, in my opinion, which Cincinnati really, really improved their O-line big.
Oh yeah, they
this
spent
offseason.
good money this year.
Yeah,
they spent good money in right places. They're really going in. It's
Cincinnati number 1 and the Dolphins number 2, in my opinion, with the O-line, fixing up the O-line.
Cincinnati definitely did good work as far as building their team goes. They definitely weren't playing around.
Yeah, they were trying to.
Drew Rosenhaus
fix all those holes.
Drew Rosenhaus said on Sports Night the other day that he's fixed his team to be contending for the AFC Championship game, the AFC Championship, and 11 wins is his ceiling.
Drew Rosenhaus late to the party. Crypto's been saying that for 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Crypto's been saying that for the day that they fired Flores. Like they're not
AFC
rebuilding.
Championship game or bust, isn't it?
Yes, AFC Championship or bust. They're a little late to the party. This train has left the station already. Slept the station.
I've got the receipts to prove it, Crypto. We can take this to court if we need to, buddy.
Yep.
Let me know.
Crypto, quick question. Like,
Yeah.
if McDaniel finishes 10-7, but no playoffs, you fire him?
Heads are gonna fucking roll, bro. Heads are
Ooh.
rolling if we don't make the playoffs.
Hey,
I'm just telling
listen.
you.
I'm gonna have to consult with Maria Antoinette because heads was rolling in that revolution. So we might have to consult with Maria Antoinette. We might have to put him on the chopping block.
I don't know where the circumstances are in a 10-win season and there you don't make the playoffs and where the Dolphins sit, but him losing his job could potentially happen for sure. It'll all just depend on
What's the circumstance?
I don't think.
Yeah,
We
if
don't.
the quarterback's
I hope not.
injured.
Like
if the
somebody, if
system
it's no
blows up-
injuries, then he lose it. If it's some injuries, then
there's
he
no
maintain his
injuries?
job. He's done. Yeah, if it's no injuries, yeah.
I don't know, man, because I think McDaniel, if you're gonna fire someone after 1 year, in my opinion, that's just
Cleveland
wrong.
did
It's
it.
just complete wrong.
But Cleveland did
Bro,
it.
it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. The Raiders did it.
And don't forget who's going to be available next year. Sean Payton, and they already showed interest in
Right.
that.
Sean Payton is available after next season, so they'll be real quick to fire him. So Dallas won't get Sean Payton. So yeah, it's pressure is on McDaniel just like it is Tua.
Probably going there. I think Mike on the mic's right. I think he's going to go to Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think
'cause
so,
Jerry
too.
Jones. I
'Cause-
think Jerry
'cause
Jones is already recruiting him.
Mike McCarthy's such
That's
an
true.
overrated coach.
Who knows if
McCarthy's
Jerry will be
so
alive? He
overrated,
looks
man.
ill.
Yeah,
How old's Jerry?
Kidding me? He's gonna
83?
Doesn't matter. He'll outlive us, bro. He's a gajillionaire. He got oil money, bro. You can't kill that guy. Guy's gonna live forever.
Right.
I know he
What you
looks
talking
rough
about, bro?
though.
He'll live another 20. Nah, he'll live another 20.
Don't worry, guys. When I get to Texas, I'm gonna Crypto and everybody. I'm gonna keep an eye out and make sure I get a hold of Jerry Jones every chance I get.
Please do, man. Please do.
I'm gonna go down to the stadium and knock on his door. And be like, hey, all
right.
So what's the word? Is McCarthy getting fired or what?
Yeah,
I know.
Let me know.
But I
Might
think
have
Mike
to-
McCarthy
I
is
would
such
love
an
to.
overrated coach, man.
We might have to escort him out.
It's just
What's up,
ridiculous, man.
Q?
Like what? What's up, Q?
What's up, Chris? What's
What's
up,
up, Q?
fellas?
How you doing?
Yeah, it's
man?
been a long day. I'm good, bro. Been a long
Yeah.
day.
What up,
Had a
Q?
did a great today. Hey, yo, MCJB. Hey, my bad, bro, for not getting back at you. I've been busy lately.
Nah, you good. Me too.
Been digging the grave. My bro.
I've been working my tail off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long.
So what we
it's
talking
been a
about?
long-
I don't think.
Just
I
going
think it's
through
not
this
right
article
when
that I'm
McDaniel gets fired after one season. It's not right because barring circumstances, with at a 10-win season, it's still good. It's still a damn good season, in my opinion, even if you don't make the playoff. I don't care what anybody says. It's still a damn good season.
Alex, I think it's
Yeah?
pretty clear from
That's possible.
the time clock.
Because you win one more.
The time
you
clock
win one
potentially
game.
on the owner. Well, we just seen Flores get fired. I get that there's off-field stuff attached to that, but I don't think anyone's safe anymore.
Including
Hence,
Chris Greer,
for
I
the
think.
better or worse, they're gonna have to win a Super Bowl or show that there's a Super Bowl in the future to keep their job, and that goes for damn near everybody at this point. Because I feel like there might be a window closing for Ross as owner, and who knows how. I mean, look, this is the 2 or 3 year window we're supposed to be in. Something's got to happen.
Good point. That's a
that's true.
This
Yeah,
team
'cause
is
that
too
window's
talented
closing.
to not make the playoffs.
Yeah, if we don't make the
Yeah.
playoffs, we're in deep shit.
Yeah, we
they'll
too
make the
talented not to
playoffs.
make it.
Don't make the playoffs.
They have to, Tony. That's my point. They have to. That's what Alex's scenario was.
I
that we
think they have
missed
to
the
win a
playoffs.
game.
I
Gotta
think
win a
think
game,
Yeah,
man.
that's
you're right. They
to
might have to
me
win a game.
that's they might have to win a game. You're right. You're right. Because I'll tell
Yeah,
you what,
they
we go to
might.
the playoffs and look like the Dolphins been looking when they limp into the playoffs and get our ass whipped. That ain't gonna
Right.
work either.
This is why I want to
gonna
get a
work.
center, and I talk about running the ball because we probably aren't winning the division, which means unless we play LA, we're probably going to a cold climate. Could be going to Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City.
Right.
Got to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
And
Could be
Tua with
going
his
to
arm
Denver.
concerns me a little.
Yeah,
you
Tua's
know,
arm
I get.
Tua's arm doesn't concern me as much as everybody says. No.
I'm not so much concerned about his arm. I'm more so concerned about his progression. How is he going to progress from what we've seen last year and the year before that? Will he take that leap? Will he take that next step? Right, and that goes for the team as well. Right, so I think we're quickly jumping the gun, but we got to win games, one game at a time.
Yeah,
Huge, right?
I'm with you right there. That's a good point.
I think it's gotta be even more from Tua in some ways with the kind of, I don't know, like maybe a playoff.
I don't
victory
doubt
might
his
be
talent,
the bar.
Chris. I don't
Yeah.
doubt his talent.
Yeah, I know
don't
you
doubt
don't,
that
Q. I know
he
you
can't
don't.
do it. I know he can, but I
know
need
you
to.
don't.
We need to see it. We need to
A
see it.
Super Bowl
That's
or
what I mean.
bust.
We got to see it.
That's
Super
that's
Bowl
a
or
big.
bust, Chris? I don't know about that.
No, I'm getting
Chris, I don't know
to
about
the
that,
point.
man.
I'm getting to the point where it's undefeated season or bust. They lose one game, everybody gets fired.
Hey guys,
All right,
Damn.
So you're gonna bring back remember the Titans on him, huh? Like,
Yeah,
they're gonna
undefeated or bust.
Hey guys,
If we lose one game, everybody gets fired.
Damn, firing the whole lot of their asses.
Damn, man.
Bonnie
it.
says
It
we're
is.
gonna start by scoring more points than the other team. That's right, Bonnie.
What's up,
You're
MC
right on
JB? My
target.
bad.
I heard.
Right.
What's up, MC?
If we don't make the play, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I do think we're going to make the playoffs, but y'all not worried about the hardness of our schedule? Like, think about it. We got to play Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers.
No,
we got to play.
I know.
We got to play Lamar Jackson again, not just. And I said again.
Yeah.
Think about, we just beat them in our city, in our town. Now we got to play them at his town. That's going to be hard. Are y'all? And then we got our whole. Well, besides the Jets, we still got to play the Patriots and the Bills. Like, are y'all not worried about the hardness of our schedule?
It's
Oh
tough.
no, I am, but that's just it. That's just it. No excuses, bro. That's what no excuses means, MC.
No,
None.
here's the thing. The Baltimore.
I mean, everybody
the Baltimore
has an
game,
easier schedule. There could be an easier schedule than that shit.
The Baltimore game.
I
Here's
don't
the thing.
know,
The
man.
Baltimore game.
Hey,
in
MCJB.
my
That's
opinion,
what
is a winnable game.
being a fan means, bro. That's what being a fan is. You know, you back down from nobody. No opponent is. You don't scare easy.
I hear you.
The Baltimore game is a winnable
No.
game.
On paper, this team is talent wise, man. This team's got it all on paper.
It's
But,
loaded.
we got to see it on the
It's loaded
field.
on both
See
sides
if
of
it
the ball.
translates on the field. Got to see if it
A lot of
translates
young
on the
talent
field. That's
on
what I'm
the
saying.
defense.
This team has a lot of talent that
was it. That's all I had to say.
can't take it to the next level. And I do think 11 wins is definitely a possibility here. And barring any setbacks or any injuries, the championship game, the NFC championship, the AFC championship game could be a possibility. I would love for that to happen.
Always. Hey, you know what I say to that,
Even if
Alex?
we lose, I would still be happy. Even if we lose, I would still.
You know
be
what I
happy.
say to injuries, Alex? I say always expect them. Always expect injuries.
Yeah, that's
because it doesn't
Yeah.
disappoint you later. It doesn't disappoint you later because you know they're going to be injured.
Well, that's
True.
why there's a
Hey.
there's a
Yeah.
high emphasis on multiple, and that's why kind of what I was saying is that if you look past Dieter, who's stepping in at center in place of Dieter, even if he's banged up for the rest of a game. You know what
Right
I'm saying?
now, they'd ask
So
Williams. He has some experience at center right now.
that's right. Connor Williams is the only guy that has some experience at center. I wonder if Kinley can make that leap and get snapping the
no way,
football.
it's too big, man.
No way. Kinley's lost a lot of weight. He's looking lean and mean and light on his feet. Early on, I think it was a wake-up call for him that he didn't get to play hardly at all.
Right.
Didn't start at all because of weight. And now the system is a zone running scheme where it could be a pass play, but really the offensive line still running down the field, just because of how the play action is schemed up. So he's lost a lot of weight. He looks a lot leaner, and I think out of the run game, he'll be just fine. Maybe he can, start snapping that football. Maybe he can find some, snaps, push Dieter, maybe even.
I don't know. He's got no experience there, and the center has to be very smart.
Well, you know what, Chris? Why not? Why not help develop Dieter? If he has no experience, then you got to give him experience, game time experience. Throw him in the lineup, shuffle him, rotate him out, bring him back out, take him back in, give him the experience. Let him, run with veterans on the line so they can teach him how it's done.
No, I want my.
Oh no,
offensive line.
I think
want
Dieter's.
continuity.
I think it's Dieter's job to lose without a doubt. I don't think unless somebody falls to them in the third round or JC Treader changes completely, maybe after the draft again, that might be something that still comes to fruition. But they're gonna need something for depth, some kind of backup center. I mean, Chris Greer brought in
Matt
the guy.
Paradis.
What?
Matt Paradis.
Oh, I mean,
I
yeah.
think
Listen,
I think he got re-signed. I think Paradis got re-signed. I think so.
Okay.
I don't know
could be
on that, but
mistaken.
we do know Chris Greer hasn't failed us as far as bringing in depth guys to push guys for starting jobs. We've seen that a couple guys last year that didn't make this team went on to, Illuminor and who else was it? The guy that was the center we brought in that didn't make it on the team. He ended up playing snaps. Skura. Yeah, thank you. So it's not like there's not guys out there. So it might even be somebody pushing. So we'll see. What's up, Tony?
What's up, Tony?
Hey guys, what's up?
Tony, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
What's up, Tony?
Hey guys.
Tony.
Hey, what's
Tony
going
the
on?
Tiger. How was your Easter, bud?
I'm good. We had a honey baked ham, sweet potato pie, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had honey baked ham too, man. I mean, it's what broke my sink, but I had it.
That's what broke my toilet. Honestly.
Damn, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
so
man.
here's a little bit. They've got a projected starter list. Obviously left tackle is Armstead, left guard is Connor Williams, center is Dieter, right guard is Hunt, and then we have the battle for the right tackle spot, which it's Eichenberg, Jackson, Jones, and even on this list they put Adam Pankey for some reason. Who knows? Maybe Adam Pankey pulls out. They don't have Larnell Coleman on this list. They have him in rotation behind Hunt on this list, with Solomon Kinley in there as well as guard.
Hey, that's I'm sorry to cut you off, Chris, but that Larnell Coleman is somebody to keep an eye out for in this training camp. That is
Listen,
something to
Arnold
keep an eye
Coleman
on.
has the measurables. He's got
Yeah.
those long ass arms. Believe me, I know him and Robert Jones. Which when we look at all these guys, I think we're pretty good as far as depth goes everywhere on the offensive line. So then it only comes down to the center position. Maybe Liam Eichenberg, who's played fucking everywhere else on the line. I could see Liam Eichenberg size and his technique. We know he's a smart player. Maybe that's the guy who pushes for the center snaps. You know what I'm saying? Or if not for nothing, but just can be that all-around depth guy that in a pinch you can have, and maybe he'll get his chance to prove himself otherwise some other time.
How about Robert Jones at center?
I don't know about that.
Robert Jones is friggin'
I don't know
huge,
about
dude.
that.
He's like 6 foot. Yeah, he's got big, giant arms. I don't think Robert Jones is going to do it. I think Kenley might, because he looks like he's lost a lot of weight, but
he can stop people from shooting the gaps, Chris.
I mean, there'd be no gap to shoot with that big guy in there. It'd just go like that and holding everyone out. But it's not about shooting. They're not going to step. It's not a. They're going to run out. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a little different.
Leaves the guy vulnerable when you got disciplined linebackers.
Chris, I want to go off of. Is it okay if we? I want to talk about. When you're done, whenever you get a chance, I want to talk about Christian Wilkins. Because
we talked on that earlier. What's up, buddy? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry. I got in late tonight.
No problem. I went in. That's how I opened the show with Christian Wilkins. But go ahead. What you got?
I hope, in my opinion, he's the glue that holds this team together. That holds his defense together, in my opinion. Because he's such a leader, and for the last couple of years, I've enjoyed watching Christian Wilkins. This guy has close to 200 tackles in the last couple in only 3 years since being drafted by the Dolphins. That is insane for a defensive tackle, and I would pay him. In my opinion, he's worth every dollar that we pay him. If he demands a high contract, give it to him. We need to keep this team together.
Easier said than done. Just giving contracts. I don't think. Look, he'll get top 10 defensive tackle. As far as his numbers to snaps, it's been on par for him to earn all of 13 or more, 13 to 15, maybe even. Maybe some of the years, depending on how it's stretched out, he might make north of 16 at times, depending on how they structure it. But he's going to get top-end tackle money. Can they structure it in a way? Absolutely. I think there's a higher likelihood that he does stay on this football team, even if because I said this months and months ago. Maybe they pick up that 5th-year option and then they can trade him away because you could get a haul for a guy like that. You could get a fucking haul. You know how Chris gets down. But shortly after that, Alex, I heard from some people that keep on the lookout because there might be an extension coming his way sooner than people think. And I on my Twitter, if you guys are following me on Twitter, you'll see that there's confirmed reports that they're already in contract negotiations of them working on an extension. Now it's unclear on whether it's picking up that 5th year to then, try to work it into maybe even extension before the year's up, or if they're just going to bite the bullet, sign the extension, it's done with. He might get extended a couple more years. They pay a signing bonus and work it out because they can. And honestly, I think it's going to happen because that's exactly the type of attitude player that Chris Greer envisions having nothing but. And he deserves it in a way where every year he's gotten better and been asked to do more. So he's not like he's not worth the money. If he continues on his trajectory, he'll go up. He hasn't made a Pro Bowl yet, though, which is important. And so maybe we can get team friendly. If it stays in the 13 mil a year range on average, could be a fucking steal.
I think 16.
Hey, Chris, could I say something real quick? It's off topic a little bit. I'm not sure if any of you guys are old school hip hop fans on the panel and stuff like that, but DJ K Slade just passed away today.
Yeah, I
Who?
saw that. K-Slade. DJ
Passed away.
K-Slade.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I saw that. It's
I didn't see that news. Well, how old was he?
57.
70.
Who died? That's still
DJ
young.
K-Slade. He's an old school.
57 is still young.
He's from the like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
You know, and he was big. He was big back then, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a DJ that worked with like guys like Biggie, Tupac, and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he used to go on tour with Biggie. He went on tour with Biggie. He was supposed to with Biggie. You know, during that, especially during the East Coast West Coast rivalry.
Yeah.
So do you like if we pick up the 5th-year option for a guy like Wilkins, if hypothetically we can't work a extension, able to work out an extension for him, what is the realistic? Is he worth a first-round pick, or like? Do you think a team would give up a first-round pick for Christian Wilkins, or at best we can get like a third or a second or a third for him?
I think Wilkins is a third.
A minimum
No
of
way.
third.
I think we could
It's a
steal
solid
first.
third.
I think you could probably get higher than that.
Steal a first all day. I
If
think
he
we could
gets
steal a first for him all day.
Of course, you can get a first rounder. This guy's a good lineman. According to Pro
I
Football
think you guys
Focus,
are
he got
completely
scored like what,
underestimating.
85 last year or 86?
I'm going to let you know this, especially the team that runs a 4-3.
Listen, I don't think teams are giving him a first. I think teams, the more viable option is a third and a fifth. A third and a fifth.
No way.
Because they're not giving
no
up
way,
first.
bro.
No, it'll be a second.
I think you could.
A second and 3/4.
He's not going anywhere. He's getting re-signed.
I think
I think you completely underestimate.
a
I
late
think you
second.
completely underestimate the market value for a guy like that on a contract that you could have him on. I think you could get more than a first to the right buyer. For real.
Stop that. What I'm saying, if we can't
Especially
sign
if he gets double-digit sacks.
what I'm saying is if we
Yeah,
can't.
Crypto, that ain't never happening. I'll tell you that right now. That ain't never happening with Wilkins. There's double-digit sacks. But
Why not? Everybody else is occupying all the blockers. He could go in and feast.
because the reason why is this, and I'll go back because of the scheme.
He's not Donald.
He's a 3-4. They're running a 3-4 hybrid. Okay, and now Wilkins is a end in a 3-4, and
You assuming he's getting double teamed.
sacks. No. Davis takes on the double teams for the nose tackle position, and even though he should not be a nose tackle on the 3-4, he should be an end at best. But you remember you have Phillips and you have Agba. You have Phillips, you have Agba on the outside getting all the sacks. So those are where the rush are going to come from.
Alex, to me, when I look at Wilkins, he's a natural 5 technique, 3-4 4-3 defensive tackle. That's what he is. A 5 technique.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yes, yeah.
I agree, but in a 3-4, he's an end.
But they're going to be running a lot of both.
Yeah, our zero tech.
That's true.
He's not. I don't think his base is strong enough as a zero tech. I don't think he's big enough to be a zero tech. Am I correct?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so too.
I don't
think he can plug up that middle.
No,
I don't think
if you want to,
you wouldn't play him on a 3-4. You wouldn't play him in a. No, you wouldn't.
In a 3-4 nose tackle, you need a guy. You need a guy that's like 6'3", 340, 330.
Yeah.
That
You need
like
the Vince Wilfork type.
Prime example.
And that's what
Jason,
I've
you need that wide ass.
As
You need
Dolphin
Vince
fans,
Wilfork.
as
Vince
Dolphin fans, you
Wilfork.
need like
you need that.
a Pulse Solii. A Pulse Solii.
Yeah. Solely,
How
yeah.
about
I love Pulse
David,
Solii.
how
I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I was a huge fan of Paul Solii when he was here.
I loved Paul Solii. I loved him.
Oh man, he was a legend.
Or somebody like Adamakan Zoo.
Sue
Well,
and
Christian
3-4
Wilkins
be an
is more of a Stewart
Not a-
type too.
not a tackle.
I think if you put him in a 3-4 scheme, you could play him on the outside for Christian Wilkins. He could be still viable in that because he's
of
shown
course.
propensity to run the pass rusher as a big man. He still has wheels and athleticism. Again, to the right team buying.
you know what, Chris?
To the right team buying, we're there. You know, they got secondary help, but their run game defense and their pass rush up front. And they got a young pass rusher, and they're having problems in their defensive tackles. And they feel like in their division, you know, they're getting gashed. You know, like you could see a team like, I don't know, like the Cardinals valuing something like that. I wouldn't say you get a lot of picks from, but you get my point. That's where he'd go and make 16, 17 million a year, and they gave up a first and a fifth for him.
Would you guys say Raekwon Davis could be our zero tech?
I think
Raekwon Davis can do
can.
anything. I think Raekwon Davis can do anything you ask him to.
Raekwon Davis is an end. He's not a nose tackle.
And that's the one person I've been looking at too. Because remember, I asked you this question last week. I think it was a couple weeks ago, right, Chris? I said, because everybody was looking at center, everybody was looking at inside linebacker, and I asked the panel. I said, what about a D tackle, right? Somebody to play the run stuffer. And the only person I was looking at was Raekwon Davis. I think he can be the run stuffer. He just need to stick to the run, you know, defending the run first.
Raekwon Davis is so big and so massive. I don't think he can be stopped.
Oh, hold on, Tony.
He was built by Bama.
Hold on, Tony.
If he hoink,
I disagree with you when it comes to Raekwon. You know what it is when you look at his tape at Alabama, they didn't rely on him. He was when they recruited him, he was a nose tackle, but what's his name? Saban moved him to the three technique defensive tackle and stuff like that. He was playing.
The reason why I say Davis is more of an end in a 3-4 technique is this. You know, Jared. I don't know if you guys remember Jared Odrick, right?
Yep.
I
remember
you guys
Odrick.
Jared Odrick. He was 6'5", 310. Okay.
Yeah.
And in a 4-3, he was next to Randy Starks in the 4-3 during the filming years for the 4-3. When they went to, oh no, I'm sorry. Before that, he was in a 3-4 with Tony Sperano, and they kicked him out they tried him at defensive tackle, did not work, and they kicked him out to D end, and he flourished as the starter D end in the 3-4. So a guy that's like 6'5", 302, 310, that's an end, and that's exactly what Davis is. He's a 6'6", 330-pound man, but he's more of an end. He's not a defensive. He's not a nose tackle. Not a nose tackle. He's more of an end. And your nose tackles in a 3-4 need at least 6'3", 350, 340. Those right there is what you need.
Haloti Ngata was like 6'5".
Haloti Ngata was 6'4", but he was 350, 360.
Yeah, he was
a big man. But
that guy was a beast. That was Thor on the defensive line.
Mm-hmm. And so
He moved the bodies.
6'4", 50.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, he was a big man.
What the fuck?
But
wait, who's there?
That's why it was so hard to run on Baltimore.
I have a question. Who's the nose tackle with Trace and Jason?
The nose tackle, they ran a 4-3.
It was 4-3, but it was Tim Bowens.
And Gardner
Darren Gardner,
was
Tim
the other
Bones.
guy.
Yeah.
They was the
Tim Bones
interior.
the actual nose tackle? Was he the nose tackle?
Yeah, he was the interior lineman.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
they ran
Was
4-3.
Tim Bones the actual zero technique for our defense back then?
Hey,
I
Chris.
thought Gardner was.
Yeah, Bowens played the zero as well. He was a fucking force to be reckoned with. I think that's the hope that Christian Wilkins can do that. And listen, I think, and they have put Christian Wilkins in the center. He isn't meant for that, but we don't run that often anyhow. We run four defensive linemen usually and offset it. And Raekwon Davis picks up. They basically, who's going to pick up the double team to free the other tackle for the inside gap on pass rushing downs, and who ends up eating a lot of those snaps for the pass rush has been what's his name? God, Zach Sealer has been tearing that
Zach
shit
Sealer,
up.
yeah.
He needs to have a Michael
Strahan
type. He needs to have a Michael Strahan type season and have 26 sacks.
For me, I've been saying
No
this.
shit. 26 sacks. I don't know. No fucking way. I don't think anyone.
That's hard.
No.
That's how much Phillips needs.
26.
I'm gonna make
26 sacks. I'm extending them right away.
I'm going to make that bold prediction.
That's everything.
I'm ready to make that bold prediction.
Hey, Crypto, if he gets 26 sacks,
what's the
I'll
record?
sell you $100 if he gets 26 sacks. I'll sell you $100.
I'm close to that prediction, Alex. I'm close to that prediction.
Crypto for Zach Sealer?
No, for
Jalen Phillips.
For Phillips.
Oh, Jalen
Phillips.
For the season?
Yep.
Oh, God. Alex, good luck with that. Hey, Chris, I got a question.
Yeah, it's 22 and a half sacks for Michael Strahan, bro.
Yep.
That's that. There's
there
no,
you
no
go.
And TJ Watt.
I was gonna say like it's like barely over 20. You're talking like 27. You're talking about shattering the record. There's just no way.
Yes. I'm going bold
What were we
here,
gonna say, Q? What were we gonna say, Q?
Capitan, I'm going bold.
It was JB that
Chris.
said that.
What's up?
Oh, I had a question. My bad. Speaking of talking about nose tackles, where on the mock the mock draft did Jordan Davis get placed on?
Oh, I expect him to be in the. He's probably gonna go in the first round. He's got to,
Is
right?
there any? Is there any?
It should be. It should be in the first round.
Here,
What? I just want to know what team's gonna pick him up. What do you? I know. It was
I would love to sneak back in and get Jordan Davis.
Bro, if we had Jordan Davis, that D line is stout. We're gonna have the big.
Yeah,
if
I'd be
we
more.
get him,
I'd be
that
more
would be the
interested in getting
biggest
Nakobe
defense.
Dean.
Sorry.
Nakobe Dean be more about it. Q, what were you gonna say, my guy?
Dude, I don't know, bro. Kind of lit tonight, so I lost my trail of thought. It's been a long day, bro.
Hey,
No
Q,
shit.
Crypto threw everyone off with that bold prediction of 26 sacks for Phillips, man. He threw everybody
really.
off.
Throw us all through a loop.
Well, the bet was 26 sacks for a season, right? Isn't that like 2 sacks a game?
Almost.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I'm still on about that.
It's 1.5.
We'll see.
Hey, I think that could be possible. No cap.
Is there any?
1.5 per
Hey,
game.
possible. 2
Chris, is
sacks
there
a
any
game.
natural nose tackles in the draft this year?
I'm sure there is, bud, but
Jordan
I haven't
Davis.
gone through it because I don't. That's not somebody
No,
we would
Jordan
go for.
Davis, a 3-tech. Jordan
Jordan
Davis.
Davis is a nose guard. What?
No, Jordan Davis. No, he played in the NFL. He's not. He's a 3 technique in the
He's
NFL.
6'7", 370. What? Oh no, not 370.
Yeah, he's playing. He could a guy
a nose
that big
tackle.
you could put anywhere. He's got a big.
He's
you don't
fast
know. He's
as
still
fuck,
young.
Too. He's got to be a nose guard.
They might. Who knows, man? They project these guys all over the place. It all depends on who drafts them and what they want to do with them, and it's kind of where the NFL gets tricky. They project where these guys will be best. We heard a lot from Eichenberg that he's projected as a right tackle. Well, we're going to find out this year, aren't we? Because if he was always projected as a right tackle, that position's wide open. It's the only position really open on the line. He should be able to beat everybody out. So we'll see on that end. Let's round this out to end the show. A lot of criticism. I don't want to say criticism in a bad way. I don't mean it to be bad, but criticism in a good way sometimes of Tua, but expectations are high. If we do make it to the playoffs, and I'm going to start with Alex, if we do make it to the playoffs, I can still see a scenario where Tua, his job isn't secure with the Dolphins getting to the playoffs or even winning a playoff game. That's how much pressure I believe is on not just the coach, but the quarterback, everyone at this point to perform in the most important positions, which, okay, Andrew Van Ginkel doesn't perform the greatest. He might still get re-signed and keep his job, but if Tua doesn't, fair or unfair, he could lose his job. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the timeline. What performance would Tua need to put up in your eyes would warrant a fourth year? Let's start with you, Alex.
Please, stat-wise, 34.
Start over, Alex.
I think
you're on mute. Start over, Alex.
Oh shoot! Sorry, can you hear me better?
You're good. Yeah. Go
All
ahead.
right, so I think Tua, in my opinion, needs to be he needs to take the bull by the horns, and he needs to run out there 34 touchdowns, 7 picks with 4,000 yards.
Holy shit. 34 touchdowns, 7 picks would probably do it. That ain't no bullshit.
I think he actually is capable of doing that this year.
Right.
I think he is capable because I think he
That's
hears all of
reasonable.
us. He hears
You know what?
all of us.
You know what,
He
Alex?
knows the criticism he's getting.
I think if Tua played a full season and didn't have those bonehead plays that he threw a lot of them interceptions on, I think he has those numbers almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He wasn't bad. He wasn't horrible last year. And he definitely was not the problem the last 2 years. In my opinion, he was definitely not the problem.
Well, there was problematic plays at times, and again, in the face of oncoming pressure, there was just poor decisions.
Justin Herbert made bonehead plays left and right too. So we can go back and forth about this, for a long time, Chris, and I understand, but Justin Herbert, when the game was on the line, he choked. He choked big time.
Oh no, listen, that's why I wanted Tua over Justin Herbert. So I know people always try to measure him. I don't give a fuck about Justin Herbert. He can kick rocks for all I give a shit. He ain't my quarterback and not gonna be for even the foreseeable future. With Tua, there was shortcomings at times, but again, I would on any other circumstance, I would say he's a young quarterback going through growing pains at times with that. So, all right, Alex, I'll see you next time.
Oh, that's agreed. All right, have a good night, guys.
All right, brother.
Stay safe, man.
Later, man. Later. MC, you too, man. What's the, I guess we'll say, floor for Tua to secure a fourth year and warrant, franchise love?
To ball the fuck out. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
All right, I like that.
Have a good one.
All right, I like that. All right,
Yeah.
take it easy, MC. Balling the fuck out would get him there, and I like that. Tony Pepper Myroni, what you thinking, brother?
Yeah, brother. Tua, in short, needs to exude confidence, show arm strength, show that he can read defenses. Throw from 35 to 3,800 yards.
All right. 3,500 to 3,800. I think he was on pace for that. Again, kind of bonehead
But he threw
plays
too
taken
many
away
interceptions.
and
He
staying.
made stupid plays last year.
Well, it's almost in concurrent with what Alex says. If he was healthy all year last year and didn't have the bonehead plays, he kind of would have the statistics you're looking for as well, Tony. So
Yeah, I mean, he just needs more talent around him. And this year, I mean, this is it. This is his litmus test. I mean, there's no excuses. Greer's going to bring in more. I think Greer is going to bring in a center to at least compete with Dieter. I think he has to. I don't see him bringing in Darrell Williams, the right tackle, Pro Bowl right tackle, second team Pro Bowler from the Bills. He's still available, but I mean, I just want no excuses. We got to find out what Tua's all about, and if he's not the guy, whether it's Brady, whether it's, I mean, the Kirk Cousins, whatever, bring in someone else. I'm so sick and tired. 22 years, we haven't won a playoff game. That's pathetic.
yeah, it's fucking hard, brother. It's hard. I feel you, Tony
Crazy,
Pepperoni. I'll see you next time, my brother. Later.
Ciao.
Yep.
Let's slide it to the other Tony. What's going on, Tony? So where's Tua's floor need to be? We'll say, for lack of a better term.
Okay, 49.95, 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 22 touchdowns. That's not going to be good enough for me, dude. How many yards?
My mistake. I'm 36.
36. Holy shit, that's a good amount there. And how many yards did you say? I didn't hear it.
49.95.
Almost. He throws almost 5,000 yards and 36
You must be listening
touchdowns.
to my
I don't
prediction.
give a shit. He's in there like swimwear, bro. He ain't going nowhere. He throws for almost 5,000 yards.
And in order for him to solidify a fourth year, he has to make it to not the Super Bowl, but at least the AFC Championship. But I don't really have faith that he might do it, though. In my honest opinion, I'm sorry.
Well, all right, Tony. We've got plenty of time for that speculation to simmer. We'll revisit this question some other time, I'm certain. So, all right, buddy. I'll see you next time, man.
Okay, bye.
Later, Anthony. Q.
So, my brother.
What's going on, brother? So, where is the floor for the fourth year secured for Tua? Just in realistic. I mean, some of it's been up and down. Where are you at?
Realistically, you've seen what the front office, the moves they've done. You've seen what the piece that tells you. That's the fact right there. They knew Tua needed these pieces. He needed help, so they got the pieces for him. They got an O-line for him. Because if Tua was the problem, they would have got somebody else already. If Tua was the problem. But man, I think he has a redeeming moment this season. I think he's gonna ball out. I think he can do it. I think, it's all our, we all have our own opinions and stuff. That's cool and stuff. But that's what I think.
Well,
I think he can do it.
But what exactly would you say would be? I guess you don't have to be numbers, but what would end
numbers
where we're
let me
sitting this time?
All right. Let me
I
tell you.
guess Chris is saying define redeeming.
Like he just came out of college, fresh out of college, back to his glory days. He was fresh out of college. No injury, no nothing. He's healthy. That's what I'm expecting.
All right, Q. Thanks for coming on, my brother. We'll see you next time. I'm sure we'll have some Tonk 7 tomorrow, hopefully.
All right, fellas. Good night.
All right, man.
All right,
brother.
Q.
Color, what's going on, man?
Nada, man.
So Color, what's going
Freaking
on?
storms today again, man. Got me again.
Yeah, put you down.
I see they
Yeah,
got
we had
you
a
No
kind of
worries.
spotty over on your internet.
Yeah, they've got me hemmed up around here, so I know the man's been trying to hold me down is what it is. I blame that on the internet.
You guys get some
So-
bad weather earlier?
No, I don't
No?
ever get bad weather here.
Oh,
No,
we got
weather.
we
It's
got
so
slammed.
windy in this area. Nah, I haven't
Yeah,
gotten
well.
slammed.
Yeah,
It's been dry around
I think Q's take
month.
was very interesting. I think it was like the way that's why I like Q around here because we disagree a lot, but that was a fair take. To say
It
that
was fair.
to say that Tua is going to have a redeeming year means that there's something that needs to be redeemed, and that's admitting that, and that's the first step to fixing a problem is identifying the problem, a problem. So
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's a good way to look at
you
it.
know
Yeah,
the fact
The
that
redeeming.
he could use that kind of context tells you that he's a fair person. So I appreciate that, and you know, I
Yeah,
mean,
he has something to
Tua
redeem. Right?
Tua was on pace for without any loss of any games last year. He would have thrown for roughly 3,800 yards. Given that we've added offensive linemen, we've added Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, a slew of good running backs. I don't see why we can't increase or get that extra 200 yards, if not more. So I would say easy 43 to 4,500 yards. He was on pace for like 26 touchdowns.
Right.
You know, so you could bump that up probably to 30 to 32. And you could probably bump the interceptions up, but only because he's actually slinging the ball around. So to me, it's like
More batted balls, more deflection chances.
yeah, to
stuff
me,
like
it's
that.
a matter of I wouldn't care if he only had 200 yards in a game, as long as those 200 yards are in the right spot. That's really what needs to be redeemed for me is that, you know, I don't care what you're doing. If we're scoring every other drive, it don't matter to me how you're doing it, but we're just not scoring.
Yeah, you're beating us too. Yeah,
You know, and that's been the biggest beef of mine, you know, when it comes down to blaming the quarterback and all that. You just look at the box scores of all our games, and it's just some part of 20 points a game in a season, some part of that has to be on the quarterback. You know, not everything, but now that we've given what we've done to improve our situation, I think there's no reason that Tua shouldn't be able to throw over 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
What do you think, Crypto?
Yeah,
What do you think, Crypto?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, got you.
I'm saying here's the shocker. If Tua gets us past the 50-yard line in any game, that's the threshold for me. He's our franchise guy. That's all he needs to do. Just get us to the 50-yard line and beyond.
Without defensive help, without a fluke. Yeah, I got you.
There you go. Just cross the 50-yard line. I don't care if he throws no touchdowns. Just get us past the 50-yard line with this team, and you get it done.
I don't know. I think that's. I don't think he gets a fourth year if those are his stats. I'll put numbers. I'll put numbers on this in a second. But for me,
I've already got his final numbers already. So he's definitely going to be getting past the 50-yard line number on numbers occasions. I would hope that would be the bare minimum. But
I hope so.
If
there
we're
ain't
supposed to
no
be doing
fourth year in that future.
But see, you guys that was a play on you guys saying that we was going to be doing all this high-powered running, so Tua doesn't need to do nothing. That's why I was coming at with that one.
Well, that's
If you can get us past the goal line this year, we'll be doing just fine.
That's what I'm looking for.
We're going to be running the ball 100 times a game, so Tua doesn't need to do anything. Just hand the ball off, remember? Nah, I'm just playing.
So you think 60? You think that 60% can net? You know, a lot of yards.
Yeah, it'll net us quite a few 4,900 yards or something like that, and we're looking at about roughly
I don't think
about
Tyreek Hill is
35
going to be all right
touchdowns.
with this. Tyreek Hill ain't going to be
Yeah,
all right with that type of offensive plan.
yeah,
That's why
4,900
Crypto
yards.
really wants to up it to 70-30. He just doesn't want to tell anybody. He took a lot of heat for it.
The 70-30 is in the back pocket. It's not been pulled out yet.
So what are these
And then
numbers? Well,
we got Tua throwing
does Tua
35
do? What does
touchdowns.
Tua? Ooh, yeah, I like that.
See, if he throws 35 touchdowns and he plays mistake-free football, he's going to have numbers like Aaron Rodgers, where he's only throwing maybe 6 interceptions or 5. How about that? 7-to-1 ratio.
He throws single digit. That's fucking good.
If he gets me 9 picks and gets you at a 5-to-1 ratio or 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio, then that's definitely a fourth.
If Tua is rolling, with a 5 to 6 to 1 touchdown interception ratio, there shouldn't be any reason we're not wearing Super Bowl rings next year.
No shit.
Yeah,
Or at least he's
right.
going to the Pro Bowl.
Well, at least he'll be invited to the Pro Bowl. Because remember, we want to only be invited because we're going to be too busy practicing for the Super Bowl that week.
That's right, Crypto. That's right. Yeah, he can't go to the Pro Bowl. Got an invitation, but can't make it. We're playing.
Exactly.
100 Antes got it right. At some point, the players just got to play.
Right.
Yep.
That's true.
So
no Pro Bowls for us. Only invites.
Yeah, I know, right? So for me, it's a little bit. I have numbers for it, but for me, it's a little bit more simple. It's kind of the same it was last year. It's what I had hoped to see to give me certainty, and I've said this plenty of times. Just the dog out on the field, whipping the ball around, just taking it to their asses, and no one can do a damn thing to a good team, a team that came into the day competitive, and Tua's just throwing dimes all over him. Don't have to be bombs. Doesn't have to be anything. Just torching their asses like I've seen him do in college.
As long as it's over the head of the defense, Chris. That's all we care about.
Just torching their asses. But those numbers with the team, the expectation.
Yeah.
Remember, there's another game now, too, guys. So it's not 16; it's 17 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or
We got to go to
games.
San Francisco.
So I say I say those yards are from 4,400 minimum, 4,400 yards and up.
Right.
I say the touchdowns are 32 touchdowns and up, and I say the ceiling on interceptions is 13. And I really would like to see him right around 10 or 11. If that's the case, and those are good enough numbers, along with the run game and everything else, taking into consideration game plan. I think that if he starts all the games, that should be
then
what
the
he should be
defense
at,
goes.
right?
If we're not in the playoff with those numbers, then it means the defense gave up 40 points a game.
And I don't see that happening. So
right. That would mean that every bit of that's in junk time, and that's just I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and vice
I-
versa. Yeah, a lot of that's in junk time. Right. Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
junk
jet
time.
sweep Tyreek. The good thing about the jet sweep is that's gonna help that 4,000 yards passing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's
exactly,
a
bro.
pitch.
little bit of
It's being pitched and sweep. Yeah.
Well, I said last year
Mm-hmm.
when Waddle needed to get like a couple receptions and a little bit of yards, I'm like, just 4 jet sweeps to Waddle, then bench him. We don't need
Yes.
to,
Yeah,
last
get that
game of the
record.
season. Don't get that guy hurt, but he needs to get his record. So 4
Don't
jet
get his
sweeps.
You know what
to
else
Waddle and
too?
bench him.
Yeah.
You know what else is another thing? You know what else is another thing too that would signal that Tua probably gets that 4th year is if unanimously on fantasy leagues he becomes a part of people's starting lineups in our winning.
Oh yeah, if he's
because
actually
of the
coming
numbers.
through and
That
Right.
shit- that's
Because that
shit.
gets him on
coming
ESPN and
through, or-
CBS Sports.
People think we hold a lot of
Everything,
water
bro,
to that, Chris, but when
everything.
you consistently see a player getting fantasy points, there's the reason for that. Fantasy points are directly correlated with their performance on the field, you know?
That's it with the
Yeah.
numbers. You guys love those stats, and you should love those fantasy stats because that shit is identical.
I mean,
So
yeah, you
it's
can get a
literally
lot of
what
it
it
in
is.
junk
It's the
time.
measurement.
But
I
here's
don't
the
care.
thing. Here's
Guess
another
what?
thing
Junk
that's going
time.
to increase.
You know who?
Waddle.
You know who lived on
is going
junk
to go
time?
from 15 points average to at least 20 average in
Yeah.
fantasy. That's
So
another
cool.
indicator that Tua is actually doing better because
Right.
Waddle
You
averaged
get
about
5 extra
15. He
points.
should have been averaging 20.
Yep, you should
Right.
have. And you know what? I
Now,
had
you get
Tyreek on
2
my fantasy
receivers.
team last year, and he kills it every year. I've made sure to
Well,
try to
you
get
got
Tyreek
His
on my
average is
fantasy
like
teams.
22 a game.
Right. If you're averaging 20 plus with 2 receivers, that's good. That means your
That's what
offense was
Debo was
And there's a
productive.
couple games a
averaging. That's
year.
why
There's a
everybody
couple
thinks that
games a
Debo's an
year.
elite guy because he was averaging like 25 last year.
Right. Him
Look,
and
there's a game or
DeAndre
two a
Hopkins
year
was
with
too.
Tyreek
DeAndre
that
Hopkins.
he gets he wins the whole week. He destroys an entire team. He's got 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek's gonna have those games in Miami next year. All right, guys, I'm closing this bitch
Right.
down. Guys, make sure you're hitting the like on the whatever I'm gonna call it. Make sure you're subscribing if you're on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Come over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Hit all the links in the description below. Fanatics, all of our gear, 15% off all week on the TFTG gear, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.